What is a patriot? A patriot is someone that loves Christ, country, and their family and neighbors. Someone who is willing to stand up for what's right. Although there may be a cost to them, someone who has overcome fear, because fear is of Satan, willing to go the extra mile to do and show what's right. The only reason I'm on YouTube is because of God. I feel it is my destiny, my duty to do and say the things God shows me, or else I'm of no good to God at all. All patriots must stand up or risk losing God, country, and family. This is all of our destiny, to do God's work. Thanks to all who watch my videos. But remember, it's not about us, but about our children, our country, our God. Thank you. Boy, that is one great opening, don't you think? Can you hear me, Steve?
I guess I forgot to unmute myself. Shoot.
It's one of
But yes, it is. Every time I'm at a loss for words, I'm like, man, that is great.
It is. Samoan did a hell of a good job on that. I mean, got to give him credit.
I was gonna say, because the guy that made that for you is one hell of a dude, and let's just say in the middle of March somewhere, me and Ronnie got a surprise for everyone in chat that has something to do with Samoan. Might be making maybe a personal, like I could go like this personal appearance, if you know what I mean. He might be sitting right next to me.
Literally. Oh, really? He's coming to Hawaii. You're going to California. Which one?
He's coming to Hawaii.
All right, right on.
It's not a for sure thing. It's not a for sure thing, because he's coming for other reasons. We're not that important. He's not coming here just to be on the podcast. But
well, he ought to be. We're very important. What do you mean we're not that important? Stephen, don't you dare say anything like that. I've been waiting to get that Stephen in. I'm gonna get a few more in. I'm gonna get a few more in for the days over too. You want to say hello to all these good people in here?
All these awesome, beautiful people. Yes.
And I'm telling you, we got quite a few here. Welcome, everybody. Good to see everyone. There's Silver Girl, too. She's here. The beautiful Silver Girl.
Silver Girl. Aloha.
Mr. Richard
Jeffrey.
Price is here.
Ed Hen.
Are you starting at the top, Steve? Or
yeah, I went back to the top.
Okay. So I'll highlight them when you call them out and see. Where were you at? I don't know which one you was on.
Oh, well, I started at the first, or actually, I didn't start at the first. My bad. Mike MQ was the first. He got to put the one ST because first. We got Robin Ward and Karen Reese. Aloha, and then there's Ed Hen. Always got good jokes, and then Jeffrey. Mr. Arizona Conservative.
That's a good man there. I mean, everybody's a good person. I'm just saying, Mr. Arizona, he's kind of new to my channel, but he's a really good, intelligent guy.
Well, we should have him on one day.
Well, we can definitely try.
Yeah.
And there's
not everybody does panels though. That's the thing, but Jeffrey and then Angel Rose. Aloha. There's Meemaw.
Meemaw Patriot. Hello, Meemaw. And let's see. Chris Gilbert. What's going on, Chris?
Aloha. Hello.
Sure Bear. Welcome, Sure
Sure.
Bear. Good to see you again. Let's see.
Pat Evans.
Yep. Hello, Pat. Welcome. I don't know who this
Hey,
guy is, but hello, Steve
I've,
Harloha.
I've heard of him, but I don't know.
Well, I've heard he's the
Careful.
most popular guy in the U.S. No matter where he goes, he gets everything free, you know. And I mean, he just got
He's
it
called
made to
the
say.
Explorer. I heard he was the best damn plumber that ever plumbed a plumb. I
Well,
did
I've
hear
heard
that.
that too, but I think he's the one that said it.
Yeah, it's like nicknames. It don't count if you pick your own, right?
That's right. Hello, Tammy
Tammy
C.
C. Aloha.
I don't know if we said hello to Robin Ward or not, but if we didn't, hello,
Robin
Robin.
Ward, yeah. And
Uh
then
oh.
we got There's Trouble.
It sure is. Got that
My brother Creek.
Bud Light can up there prominently. Let's see here.
Creek probably working. So thank you for being here and listening, brother.
Absolutely. Kim's Lounge. Hello there and welcome.
Hey,
Kind
Kimmy's Lounge.
of.
Aloha. Kind of. All right.
Tiny is here.
I see Rock Steady.
Rock Steady is here. Hello, Rock. Let's see here.
Beautiful Silver Girl.
Mr. Chris Gilbert. Hello, Chris, and welcome, brother.
Oh, there's the deal for real. The deal for real. So real, you got to say it twice because the deal is real.
It's very, very real.
That's my new saying.
Very, very real. Red Pill, what's up? Good to see you, Ken. Welcome.
Richard Prize. Oh, I think. Oh no, wait! It keeps going and going. It's the never ending.
We made it big again. Craig the Hunter is
made
there.
It. Yeah, you know you done something right when Craig's there.
And he says, I was bored and I'm still bored, but at least Ronnie is here. I'm going to bore your ass off today, Craig. Hello, Craig. Nice to see you, brother. Welcome. And Elisa, hello there and welcome. Yep, we're doing good. Hope you are too. Let's see. There must be two chats. There he is. Steve always, sends mine out on his channel.
Yeah, I always stream share when we're on Ronnie's channel. I stream share, and then on when I'm stream sharing it, I always pin the link for Ronnie's channel so that anyone wants to join the,
yes,
because that way you see all the chats,
Yeah, so whichever chat y'all are in, be sure to like there and then go to the other one and like it there.
Yeah, do that too. Yeah, because I was looking earlier and my like ratio is down 28% from last 28 days. So I got 28% more likes last month than I did this month.
I ain't never seen any place that tells you how many likes you got or anything. Where you go to see that?
You really have to, like, I don't know the word, deep dive in the channel dashboard. It's like, man, there's so many.
I'd have to have somebody show me how to do that because I've never seen it. Don't know how to get there.
I'm still figuring stuff out because then you click on one thing and then something else pops up, and then in that you click on things and then you just keep going and it's like, I don't even know all this. Yeah, you gotta find out a lot, and I still don't know what I'm doing.
You know a hell of a lot more than I do. I'll put it like that. Way more. Man, I'll tell you what, on my show a lot of times, if it wasn't for people in the chat, I wouldn't know what the hell to do. They're telling me what to do to get out of whatever mess it is I got myself into.
Right. Oh, there you go. Jeffrey said he just subscribed to your channel.
Oh, well, thank you, Jeffrey. Oh, yeah, I see that there now. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Trying to get up to 1,000 for the first. Well, it won't be the first time. Oh, did I ever get to 1,000 before they kicked me in the ass? I don't remember. I don't think I quite made it to 1,000.
I thought either you did or you were like right there. I thought you did, but I'm not positive.
I think, like you said, it was right there, but I never made it because the the third one of those things.
Yeah. Yeah,
They're
and
giving
if you know what, if you still had that original channel, you'd be
oh,
I guarantee you, and I'd put all the money in the world on it, you'd be over 5,000 subscribers
I
if
would
you would
love
have
that.
never lost that first channel because when you lose a channel and then you you're literally starting over and then you're never getting all the same people back because, you know.
Yeah, they go somewhere else, and which you
Yeah.
can't blame them because they can't find me to watch me, so they go to someone else, and they just have to trip across mine, to find it. And that's what a lot of people do, of course. But Kiss Off is here. Hello, Kiss Off.
Kiss off. Aloha.
You're not blue, Memo? Well, let me check this out. I got to pull up my channel. Hang on 1 second. I got to find me, though, which I think I can do. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can.
Ed says, I heard that Steve found the Mario Brothers drowned at the bottom of a sewage pipe and took up the mantle in memory of them. Yes, sir.
There you go, Meemaw. I ought to take Craig's wrench. We think I ought to take Craig's wrench away from him?
Yeah, that's a tough one.
I know. He won't give me one on his channel, though. And I don't know why. I've been begging and begging and begging, and he just won't do it.
Well, his goes by in 1 hour on the dot. It's so fast.
That's for sure.
And very interesting.
I think
that's what keeps you focused on his.
No doubt about it. Now, Craig is when he's on, and he's got the other guys on with him too. I mean, I can understand why he don't read the chat because he's got to get his points in. All the rest of them got to get their points in, so he don't really have time to read the chat a lot. And I understand that. That's why I like giving him hell though, because I know he don't have the time.
Well, plus when you got 900 people in the chat and it's going by so fast.
He says I can't be trusted. I'm busted, maladjusted, and can't be trusted. Is that what you're saying, Craig? Uh-oh, there's Pablo. You're welcome, Mima. Pablo, say hello to everybody. Say ruff, 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 ruff.
He looked up when he did that.
Ruff, 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 ruff. I wonder what the hell I'm saying in dog language. Ruff, 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 ruff.
Yeah, that'd be funny if you were actually saying you were actually saying something and Pablo's like, "Did you hear what he just said to me? You're not gonna do nothing about that."
You ain't much of a daddy, are you? Them talk to me that way and get away with it. You ready to bring our guest in? Our guest is here.
Oh, right on. Awesome. Yes, I'm definitely ready.
Here we go with Southeast Wolverines. What's up, Wolverines?
Hey, how you guys doing? Am I coming through okay?
Oh,
yep.
Fine.
Sound good to me.
All right, good.
Loud and clear.
How are you? Thank you for the opportunity and having me as your guest. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Right on. Thank you for taking the time out to be a guest. That's awesome.
Ronnie, I look forward to talking to you. I haven't talked to you yet. Steve, we've been on a panel before. So
beautiful Indy. Hello, beautiful Indy.
Hey, Indy. Yeah, we've been on a panel, maybe twice, I think?
Yes, sir.
But yeah, no, we've talked about a lot through email.
When were y'all on the panel together? On whose show?
Is it Latina and Kelly?
Yep, Latina.
Oh, okay. I didn't know y'all were on there.
Yep.
If I'd have known it, I'd have been watching. I didn't know you were on, though. See, you got to let me know these things, Steve.
Right. That one was actually like a last second thing, and I ended up stream sharing that, I think, but only like the last hour. But yeah, it's one of those last minute things where I happen to get home from work sooner than I expected, and it's like, oh, I got time, so I'll jump up. But
Well, did y'all have fun?
Yeah, we did. It was good, great conversation. Great conversation. It's the first time I got the opportunity to talk to Steve, and I enjoyed it. You know, being in people's chats, you don't really get to conversate with them at all because you're typing. You know, so it's good to
Yeah.
finally be able to talk. You know.
I hate
right.
typing so bad. You're absolutely right, man. I hate that. I hate texting. Okay.
Because people
The
read
wor-
it wrong sometimes. You know, people you could say
dude.
something and
Hmm.
somebody might take it the wrong way. You know, so
Yep. I
Oh
say
yeah.
that all the time with text because like you could be saying like, dude, like that's the shit, and then as in a good way, and then they think you're saying like, dude, that's shit, and it's like, no, I was saying like that's or it's just yeah, because you don't hear the tone and
yeah,
like how they're
exactly.
saying
Or
it. You're just reading the words.
you could be like, you know, if I said, look at that house, well, I could be like, it's burnt to the ground. You know, the house is burnt to the ground, or somebody could take it like I'm saying the house is nice, like it's a nice house. So, or
Yep,
like texting,
exactly.
sometimes people take things out of context. So, being able to
Yep.
hear somebody speak is a lot better to me.
Hey, I've done
And
that same thing. I've read people's texts before and took it the wrong way, and I've had it to happen the other way around. They read mine and took it the wrong way. I
Oh yeah.
I
You know,
text back and say, "Well, what's wrong? What did I say wrong?" You know,
I
and the
think.
same thing with them.
Go ahead.
No, I'm through.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I think like a year and a half or maybe even 2 years ago, I think me and Ronnie got in a fight once because we read each other's text the wrong way.
Yeah.
I don't. It was a long time, but I was just like, "What? Like, fuck you, man!" Like, and then you're like, "What?" And I'm like, "Oh, I didn't mean it like that." And you're like, "Oh, I didn't mean it like that either." Like, oh, okay. Anyway, so how's your day going? It's like you just read
Yeah,
it the wrong way, and
yeah, we got it fixed pretty quick. That's the good thing about it. Well, I tell you what, I'm wanting to hear some of Wolverine's thoughts
yeah,
on
I was
what's
gonna
going
say
on in the
real
world
quick,
yes,
today.
real
um,
quick, if you want, to let everyone know in chat for if anyone here doesn't know you or hasn't heard of your channel or anything, if you want to tell anyone what your channel's about,
Oh,
or
absolutely.
and then
yes,
I could put if one of the mods could put a link for his channel in both chats actually. But go ahead.
yeah. My real name's Isaac. If you don't know, my real name's Isaac. Go by SE. A lot of people call me SE. Of course, SE Wolverines stands for Southeast Wolverines. Wolverines I named after my favorite movie of all time, Red Dawn. I feel like we're about ready to live it in real life sometimes, you know. We talk anything from politics, survival, and preparedness. So
There you
it's
go.
what we're kind of all about. And if you like that sort of thing, stop by and say hi, and I'll make sure if you got a channel out there, just let me know, and I'll go check you out, and we can sew each other up. Anything to get the word out. So
That's
Right
exactly
that's
what
about
on.
it.
it takes all of us too. Because I come at it from one point of
Thank
view,
you,
and
Nico.
you come at it, Wolverines, from another point of view. Other guys come at it, basically from the same point of view, but they've got their own stuff mixed in there too. But it takes everybody to try to get the word out because the mainstream news damn sure ain't going to do it. That's all there is to it. If we don't do it, it won't get done.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have a lot of different ways of looking at things. But it's hard to say what's going to happen. It's hard to predict the future. But sometimes, when I just look over the overall landscape of what's going on inside this country, I think it's safe to say it's not going very well at this time. And I think, me being I'm also a nurse. I like to say that I'm a nurse in my profession, been for a while now. And just with nursing, you know, if you have a problem, if somebody has like a spinal cord injury or something like that, there's several things that can happen because of that. They could get bed sores, they can be incontinent. There's several different things. So when I look at a situation of what's going on, I like to try to look into the future and try to predict it. It's hard to do, but try to see what's coming, because I think if you prepare for the worst that can happen, you're prepared for that, but pray for the best. I hope it never happens, of course. Who would want to live through something like a collapse or something like that? It'd be horrible, you know. But sometimes, you know, things are out of our control, and you know, you want to control what you can control. And to me, that is to prepare yourself as far as with food, having food, water, and medical supplies if you can, and hope for the best. So these people don't care about you, obviously. We're steadily giving away money to other countries. They're just open borders. You're letting the people pour in the border, people that don't see eye to us. So, you know, they're doing it for a reason. It's kind of hard to predict. Like I said, nobody knows but the good Lord above. And, you know, I like to prepare for the worst. And like I said, pray for the best. So,
Yeah. And you know what? That's funny you said about the borders, because I was thinking earlier, like, because Nina and her mom went to Arizona to visit her sister and nieces and nephews and stuff. And then I was heard this thing about the borders again. And I'm thinking, wow, borders wide open. But then American citizens go to the airport, you're in a thing, they're scanning you, they're patting you down, they're looking through your luggage just to fly to a different state.
Mm-hmm.
But borders,
wide
you
open.
know what I mean? It just
Never
doesn't
check
make
nothing.
sense to me.
Wide open.
Well, here in Texas, they pretty much got the border closed down now, at least according to our non-illustrious governor. I mean,
Governor.
he says it's closed, but I don't trust that guy as far as I could throw an elephant.
Yeah, and then what they did close down in Texas. I'm sorry, Ron. Did you want
No, go ahead.
You know, they closed down Texas, and then they go to New Mexico, Arizona, and California. You know, they just shift to where they're coming in at. So, you know, to my knowledge, Texas has been a lot better than what it was.
Oh, it is. You know, and I do wonder about our governor. I know at least he was in with the bad guys. And there's no doubt about it. He was. May still be, but he definitely was in with them. And I don't know if y'all remember, but Trump came down 2 times here, back in 2021 or 2022, one or the other. Anyway, he came down and visited the governor at least twice. And so I'm wondering if maybe there wasn't something worked out at that time. You know, because you can bet your ass that all these governors and everybody has been warned, you know, what's going to happen if they don't straighten their ass up. I'm not saying that's what he's done. You know, I'm not saying that he's turned good, but something's happened because he is doing a good job on the border right now. And he got the law passed, you know, for not concealed carry, but, you know, where you can carry out in the open. You still have to get a license to carry.
Yeah, that's
concealed. Devil dog, what's up?
Yeah. Open.
Yeah,
Open carry.
sometimes I think he could do a little more too. You know, you got these non-governmental agencies or NGOs that are helping facilitate moving people in and out, you know, giving them plane tickets to fly all around the country. You know, he could arrest them because it is illegal, but he doesn't. So I think there's a lot more than he could do. You know, you hear he's in with the World Economic Forum. You know, they're not looking out for our best interests. So it's hard to say. All I know is that to me, again, I hate to sound a little pessimistic. Maybe I come across like that sometimes, but you know, we're in a bad place in this country, you know, right now. I feel like we are. So,
well, we are, but it's not as bad as, in my opinion, it's not anywhere near as bad as everybody thinks. Because you got to remember that a lot of this is just a movie. Now, there's still some bad things happening and some bad things that will happen. and this is my opinion, but I thoroughly believe it. And I don't believe we're going to have a civil war. I don't believe we're going to have a war, period, with anybody. But the guy I had on last night in the video, the first video I showed, he pretty much broke it down exactly right. The way I see it, talking about Derek Johnson and all. Man, I'm telling you, if anybody wants to, and I know a lot of people have already done it, so go to Derek Johnson's Telegram channel and check him out there. I mean, the guy's he's got loads of proof, about everything, and he put it together in a way where you can, understand most of it. Now, some of the stuff I don't understand, like the law of war manual, my mind just don't work like a lawyer's. I mean, I can't take it in, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, I think a civil war would be devastating for this country.
Oh.
If we go to civil war, like they won, basically, in my opinion.
Oh, they do want one.
So they have us divided on a lot of issues. I think we're a lot more the same than a lot of people want to think. Kind of you hear them talk about they don't really like this country. We say we love this country, but we don't like our government. So maybe it comes out a little bit wrong how they say it. We perceive it wrong. We know there's problems. Of course, it could be better, but I think we have the best foundation of any country in the world, to me. And of course, you want to change a little here and there, and try to listen to one another and move forward. But it just seems like the powers that be don't want us to have a dialogue with them, silencing a conservative voice on social media a lot of times. So it's kind of hard. So,
and so that's one thing that I'm talking about too is this is my opinion again. I think all of Congress has been dealt with. That's why the fence, for one reason, that they keep putting the fences up in Washington. It's definitely, Washington was definitely captured, a long time ago. So if they were in control, the bad guys I'm talking about, why would they want to put fences around their own place? It don't make any sense. I mean, and they've done it. I don't know how many times. They've got another fence up in Washington now. But I'm just saying that if they were in control, like they have been for God knows how long, if they were still in control, then why would they need fences around Washington, D.C.? They wouldn't, in my opinion. Why would they need them? They've never needed them before. And yet here since 2020, they've been building fences.
Literally never, ever before.
That's right. They say it's to keep us out. That's bullcorn. They know that people in this country aren't going to do anything until it gets very, very, very bad. And then if that were to happen, and I don't know what very, very, very bad actually means, but if and when that happens, now I think something bad would definitely happen. And that would, like Wolverines said, that would be absolutely devastating to this country. Yeah, exactly, Mike MQ. Exactly. So the fence are put up backwards too. Exactly.
Yeah, walls work though, right?
They do.
They put up one, but then you want one on the border, and they say it doesn't work. So it's kind of
right. Yeah, take this fence down, but put one up around us.
So I think they know the American spirit has always been there. I think they're a little worried about it. I don't preach violence. I don't think violence is the way at all.
Absolutely not. You're right.
You like to do it lawfully, but it seems sometimes our judges, they're a little out there right now. Who knows who's paid off? Who knows who's compromised? Look how they're treating Trump. I think the whole thing is a disaster, in my opinion. So I like to do it through the courts. You like to see it done the right way. I think, again, I like to say that they know the American spirit is alive and well. And so I have hope. It's not like I don't have hope. But, they control a lot on the chessboard. If you look at it as a chessboard, they They control a lot right now, but we control everything, in my opinion. However, the American people want it to go, it's going to go. So
I agree with that. But again, they've really got no way to start a civil war. And if they did, I don't think they'd have any way to fight it, because check out all the military men that are around President Biden, and I guarantee you, check out their uniforms, and take a screenshot, whatever you have to do, and go compare that with a real uniform in every detail. I guarantee you'll find that those people are fakes. They're actors. The ones that are acting military around our illustrious president.
yeah,
They are.
they're. I'm sorry, Ryan. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say they're actors. That's what they are. They're actors. So all the stuff that's happening right now, in my opinion, well, not all of it, but the most of it, is what they're doing is they're making everybody see, not just hear, but see what would have happened if these people would have won. I think they lost in 2016 when Trump won. That was it for them. They've been gone. This is right now. I think it's still in a mop-up operation, but for all intents and purposes, it's over. I mean, that's what that video I saw overnight about the sword dance is about. It's just saying that they've all been dealt with already.
Yeah, I like to look at that again. I got to look at it on my time, but I think a soft coup has been launched against the country. A coup is a violent overthrow, and a soft coup is not using violence. So I think a coup has been launched on American people by globalists. That's just what I believe. It's hard to for a lot of people, I guess, to comprehend that, because they have us so divided as far as politics go. So some people look at it as a politic game, Republicans versus Democrats. I think they're both controlled to an extent. There's several good people in both parties. Not several, few. I'll take that back. I misspoke.
That's what I was going to say.
So, but I think that it has been, and when we realize what they're trying to do, I feel, I agree with you about 2016. But I don't know. I think they got a lot of control as far as they're purging good men out of the military. The veterans, they're not treating with respect they deserve. They're not getting health care, not getting the proper health care and things like that. And I think they have a lot more control as far as militarily goes. So I don't know. I guess it's just two different opinions.
It is, and everybody's entitled to their opinion. That's exactly what I always say. What I state is my opinion, and from all the research, whatever you want to call it, that I do, and believe me, I do a lot of it. But I just don't see how there could be anything really bad going on. Well, do you know how much do you know about the Bible, Wolverines?
I'm Christian. I don't know like the back of my hand probably what
Oh, I don't
what I
either.
should do if I put time like I do in politics and stuff like this into the Bible. Maybe I would be a better person. I will admit that. But I do believe in Jesus as my savior. So
yeah. Oh, no lie, me too. But what I was getting at is what's happening now. To me, anyway, lines up perfectly with the Book of Revelation and the Book of Daniel. Particularly, I don't remember exactly how many verses there are now in Daniel that refers to. I mean, it's telling about the whole thing,
Yeah.
And it sounds exactly like what's going on today. I mean, Christ himself said there will be earthquakes in diverse places. The people will be, roiling. He called it the waters, but he could have meant both, but I think he meant the people. And he said some other things too that I don't recall right off the top of my head. But I mean, the earthquakes have been going on, and I mean big time since at least 2016, and they've gotten more frequent since then, since Trump went into office. But I mean, that just seems like it's and this is, it's just my way of looking at it.
Yeah.
That everything has gotten. Well, it is. It can be worrisome if you let it worry you. But
Yeah.
I just think we're going to a much better place myself.
Yeah, me too. I don't let it worry me. Like, I'm not sitting in the corner, like, pissing on myself for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever's
Yeah.
gonna come is gonna come. But I do look at Bible verses in the Bible. He talks about preparedness a lot to get yourself ready for. I could list Proverbs 21:5, list different verses that he tells, preparedness, get prepared for what's coming. So whether people look at it spiritually, whether people look at it, as getting prepared, he says prepared like the ant prepares for the winter time, stuff like that. So it's hard to say. I know no man knows the hour. To what I understand, Jesus doesn't even know. God knows. His Father knows the hour. So
that's right.
It's kind of hard to say. I just try to, like I said at the beginning, I try to prepare for the worst and pray for the best. So at any rate, I know, and I pray that I'm worthy to be accepted into the kingdom of heaven. So, at the end of the day, I believe Lord Jesus, my Lord and Savior, and if I'm worthy enough to get in, and I believe, if you strive every day to make that your goal, then and the Lord sees your heart, I think you'll be welcome to the gates of heaven. So.
Totally.
I don't have much fear.
Did you see what Steven Skibba put in there, Ronnie?
Right there?
Yep. Yeah.
Matthew 6:3. And in the morning it will be foul weather today, for the sky is red and lowering. Oh, you hypocrites, you can discern the face of the sky, but can you not discern the signs of the times? There you go. Thank you, Stephen. That's a good verse. And I definitely agree. You can't. That's basically what I'm talking about now. Is and I'm not saying, to me, I don't think the Bible is totally right, because I think I know they let crooks into it, because it tells about it in the Old Testament, where I don't remember which one it was, but anyway, he was the official bookkeeper. He was supposed to, the Bible writer, whatever you want to call it. And he was too lazy to put all the stuff in the Bible he was supposed to, so he hired these other guys to do it. Well, they were crooks, or bad guys. And so they went in and, just changed stuff here and there. You don't know what part they changed, though. So you got to read the Bible with a lot of discernment.
Just like our history books, right?
No shit. All our books.
Yep.
I think he'll put it on your heart, though, what you need to know. If you seek the word, I think he puts it on your heart. A lot of people say, the Bible's written by man, and so they kind of dismiss it. But the Constitution is written by man too, and they like that. So that never really made sense to me. So I don't know. Like I said, I think he puts it on your heart, and if you look for the word, he's going to show you the word. So that's just my opinion.
Oh, I think that's absolutely right. If you don't look, you ain't gonna find him. That's for sure. He's not gonna come looking for you. Well, I don't know about that. He probably does, and that's why a lot of bad people turn good. I just wonder how many of these bad people have turned good since Trump was in office. I would love to know the answer to that question. I never will know it, but it's got to be a good answer, whether it's a good one or a bad one.
Yeah, I just think the powers that be, they're some evil people, and they're controlled by the Dark Lord himself. So these people don't care. They don't care about us at all. And as long as we could love one another and try to help one another, the better off we'll be, in my opinion. So
I totally agree again.
I really think it's a battle between good and evil. I really do.
That's exactly what it is. Exactly.
So
Craig
that's
Jacobs says, right, and we aren't living by the same calendar either. That's exactly right. Very hard to know what's what nowadays. It's exactly right, Craig. And but I don't think it's going to be long till we get the real calendar back, which is real calendar now. The way I understand it, I ain't seen a real calendar yet, but I had it explained. And you know me, when stuff's explained to me, I screw something up. But when I'm telling it, but anyway, here goes. The the real calendar, all the months have 31 days in them, except I think it's February. I'll get it all mixed up. Maybe April. But anyway, when it switches over, there'll be more days in the year than there are now.
hmm.
And the way I understand it too, the military has already switched to the old or to the new calendar. And right, Red Pill, 13 months, 28 days. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't really know too much about it. I got to
it
look
may
into
be.
that more. So I'm not.
No, I'm just saying, that the whole thing, we're talking about the Bible and everything and the Constitution and how it all works together. And I think it all does because the Constitution was written on the Bible, almost straight out of the Bible.
Yeah, I think it's a great document. A great thing to start a country with. I really do. I believe in it wholeheartedly. Even though I feel like we're got far away from it over the years. So
Well, you know why, don't you? Well, there's several reasons why, but the main one is our real Constitution was murdered in 1790. I can't remember the year now, but it was definitely murdered, and they put the new one in, unbeknownst to the American people. It looks in a lot of ways just like the original one, but it's not the original Constitution. And so that's how they've been getting around a lot of stuff, is because they changed the Constitution. And they also changed at least one of the Bill of Rights. And I think they took out, let's see, which one was it? I think it was 16, Amendment 16, if I remember
Amendment
correctly.
16.
Yeah, I believe that was it. But regardless, I mean, they've changed so much stuff around, and it's not only was it not told to us, but it's so damn confusing, and that's what they want to do. They want to keep us confused and
that is true. I
looking
agree.
for answers and everything. And they've done a
agree.
very good job of it.
But if you look across like just the people we have in currently residing in DC, we're in every little war. I know that's not what our founding fathers envisioned for this country.
Right.
I was looking up a statistic, and this is kind of crazy. Like trying to remember off the top of my head, like America has been in existence for like around like 243 years, and we've been at war for like 225 years of the 243 years. And
that's
that just kind of puts it in perspective how the military runs a lot in this country, so they're making money off of it.
Yeah, it's all about money.
So it's all about the cash.
money.
So
it's about money and control. That's what it's about. They want to control us, and they want the money off of themselves. That's what they want. The majority of it anyway, the vast majority of it. But
so I think, to some people might not care about money, but money, a lot of people do care about money. So people get paid off. People will do anything for money. Now, to me, I wouldn't want to have money and see the whole America collapse, because what's the point of it? You know what I mean? So I think they don't think about things like that and what they're kind of trying to bring about. I don't think they look forward and try to figure out what's that going to cause. But like I said, when these people are led by Satan himself, they don't, like I said, they don't care. But Ronnie, it's not, again, this is just my opinion. I don't know. I'm just trying to find the answer. I don't know. I'm always trying to better myself and look for new information. If I come across it, I'll switch up. I'll adapt to it. But I just think that these people want to, just like you said, take control of us and run, just have us at war all the time. So we're on a cusp of World War III. Trump says it himself. These people will take us there if they can. So
Well, that's what they want. There's no doubt about that. But that's part of my whole point. And I don't know if you've ever heard me talk about this before, Wolverines, but I'll make it as quick as I can. While Trump was in office and everything, now this is my opinion again, ain't nobody else's, just mine. But when he was in office and before he left, he wrote all these executive orders and the PADs that are kept secret, which made him not only the president, but the commander in chief. And so what I think is that our illustrious resident was put in as well, he's an actor, I mean, that's thoroughly my opinion. And I think he is there, I think, doing what he's told, not by Obama. I mean, Obama's been dealt with. You can bet on that. And Big Mike too. But they put him in to do all these bad things, and put all the blame on Biden's head, not on Trump. Because there's a lot of bad things that had to happen, like, the thing in Ukraine and then in Israel and really all over the world, here in this country. So a lot of bad things and still some bad things have to happen that, and it's not going to be just in this country, but I would say look for a lot of things to be taken out here.
Yeah, well, it's sort of like elder abuse, really. You know what I mean? Like, Biden doesn't know what day it is or anything. So I do believe that they could place the blame on him. But at the same time, I think
come on, man.
If Trump comes about, they could try to place the blame on him too. So kind of look at it two different ways. I know they act like Trump is the Antichrist or something. I've never seen so many. I mean, I wonder if he's going to be in the Guinness Books of World Records for the man that had the most investigations on him. You know what I'm saying? They're investigating this guy left and right, and they will not let up off this guy, man. So,
well, yeah, boy, that brings up an interesting point too, as far as I'm concerned. If there was anything on him, don't you think they would have found it? I mean, anything in the world, they would have found it and charged him with it. He can't have anything at all anywhere on his record, or they've done a sorry job of investigating, is all I can say. I don't believe he has anything myself, but
I mean, they're making stuff up. They're making stuff up at this point. So I think the courts are compromised,
Oh, yeah.
They're just making it like what's the lady's name? Jean, he got sued for $83 million, and from 30 years ago or something, he couldn't even remember the month it happened. I mean, that's ludicrous to me. But they, and then this new one, Mar-a-Lago, what was it? It's just 300 and how much was it? I forget off the top of my head. Was it 300?
What they're saying,
million or something? He got sued for or something.
I just remember them talking about how much his place Mar-a-Lago was worth, and saying what they were trying to say is that he got it real, dirt cheap, and I guess they were trying to make him pay more taxes or something. But Trump said, I gave a fair price for it, whatever it was, and he told what it was. And I don't know what a fair price would be for it. I've never seen the place. I ain't been in it or nothing, but so I didn't spend a lot of time on it. But
it's where the judge tried to say it was worth like $18 million. But if you look around, you could go right now, all the houses, you can have a lot, not even close to what his, the property of Mar-a-Lago is, and it's worth more. It's selling for right now more than 18 million. So I think it's worth probably 10 times as much as what they're saying.
Oh, good.
So,
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt.
so the whole case is BS when they could do that to a man. Whether you like him or not, I don't know how people feel about him, but whether you like it or not, you gotta admit that they're pulling stuff out the woodwork against this guy. And why do they hate him so much? Is it because he represents the true American spirit? And I think that's why they hate him so much. They hate him like they hate their fellow Americans, and they know he's sort of a leader to many of us, and they hate him, and they're trying anything in their power to make his legacy. You talk about history and looking for it in history books. The history is written by the victors, so they're trying everything. It's
Mhm.
if you go 10 years into the future, 20 years in the future, what are they going to say about Trump? They're either going to say he's the best president ever in American history, or they're going to say he's the Antichrist. So
Yeah.
I
Well,
just know they're not treating a man fairly. And even if you don't like him, I would be on his side when I see, I'm not blind. So,
yeah, yeah, you're
Right.
right. But I have a lot of trouble understanding what and I've heard that same thing of them calling the Antichrist. I don't know where they get that at, because he he ended wars. He didn't try to start more wars. He you know brought North Korea around, China around. I mean, just a whole bunch of them around. And like the video that I play every time I come on, the sword dance, Saudi Arabia. I mean, that right there alone ought to tell everybody something. Because when they do that sword dance, no one is supposed to touch that sword. Other than the people out there dancing with it. But after that, they hand it to the king. They don't
yeah,
hand it to just. I don't care if you're the president of Russia, China, and the U.S. They always hand it to the king.
yeah. I
Well,
think
they
they.
handed it to
Oh, I'm sorry.
Trump. So
Mhm.
it's
Yeah,
just showing,
that's what
that,
you were showing last night, right?
yeah, yes. And so every time that I guess my point is that that's the way that anyone could really tell, that he is indeed not only the leader of the U.S. but I think a leader of a lot of the world right now.
Yeah, when I say Antichrist, they treat him like he's the Antichrist. They act like he is,
Yeah,
So I'm not saying they're literally saying that. In some cases, I'm sure they do, but
no, they
they
have.
they
I've
act
heard them
like
say it.
that. So,
Yeah, they have. I've heard them say it.
and,
But
and what's funny, everybody liked them. Oprah liked them.
Oh
Everybody
yeah,
used to like
before
the
the
guy. I
fact,
never
yeah.
heard nothing bad about him, and he's been around for a while. I never heard
The funny
one
thing is,
bad word.
everyone liked him before 2016, and before 2016, I hated him. I couldn't stand that guy.
Oh, really? Really?
But then when he ran and did all that in 2016, I was like, yeah, this dude knows what's up.
I was basically the same way. I didn't trust him at all. But what really brought me around was there was no way I wanted Hillary to be president.
Oh,
And
me
after I
either.
watched him, in a few of those debates, I came around pretty quick. Because I liked his style in the debates. I mean, he wasn't taking no shit from nobody, man. And then to win it and to beat Hillary while she was not only running and getting normal votes, but she was also getting those machine votes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I just I never really thought too much about him before. I know he's kind of you know leftist, I would say, and he's rich. Never really cared too much about him, but I remember hearing him kind of make his first speech, and everything he said. I remember I was riding around in my car listening to it, and I was like, "Whoa," because I agreed with a lot of it, and I couldn't believe it. It was almost too good to be true.
Well, let me
I
ask you:
kind of
Did
came
did
around
the
quick.
Well,
did
he
his
was a lifelong Democrat
Yeah.
yeah?
because
Yeah,
Blue
he was.
Blue mentioned that, and I do know I do know that is true.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, he definitely was.
So I think, even right there, people gave him we got to be ready for people from the left to come to our side. Just because somebody is on the left sometimes doesn't mean they can't switch around. And he's a perfect example of that, because he sort of was on the left. But we heard him out. We put our trust in him. A lot of us have. Maybe not everybody. I'm not saying everybody. But look how that turned out, because we gave him a chance and we put our trust in him, and it turned out for the better of this country. So got to be ready for sometimes for people from the left to come over to the right, because everybody wakes up at one point, so
Right. But then the thing is too, the left isn't, I don't know how long they've been calling it the left, but the Democratic Party now isn't what it was, like when
10 years. Yeah, I hear you.
Like when my dad was growing, like I was raised Democrat but I never took the time to what are we? I don't even know anything about politics. Like, we're Democrat. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't. But back in like the JFK days compared to now, it's it's
totally
flipped.
Yeah, totally opposite. I agree. They were anti-war. They are for freedom of speech a lot back in the day. And now they seem like authoritarians to me nowadays. So not all of them, of course. A lot of people are just like maybe like you were and not so politically active, but they just associate themselves with the Democrat Party and doesn't even know. Again, I think that a lot of that's a lot of divide and conquer thing anyways off the, so. But it just seems like they're the ones, to me, I could be wrong, but it just seems like, to me, they're the ones that are bringing in this World Economic Forum stuff, so, today, all the wokeness, it's like basically they're using communist subversion tactics to bring in the globalism.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. That's what they are. Well, you know what the guy in Germany in during World War II that has a little mustache, what he was called? Well, that's what they are. They're exactly that same thing. That's what they are. And they, believe me, they don't give one rat's ass about any of us in any way whatsoever, other than they would truly love to see us all dead. That's what they want. Of course, they want to keep a few around, to do the things that them or their robots or whatever can't do.
Right. Someone's got to clean the toilet.
Yeah, exactly.
They've been playing that for a while, I mean, look at who like Obama's mentor was.
Yeah,
I forget. I'll talk about the organization, the weather. So this is mentor, and I think they were planning it the whole time. And now they got a chance. They're all older and are running things now, and they got a chance to get their foot in the door, and they took it. So,
I truly think Trump took it back, though,
for a long time.
I think they've had their ass whooped now since 2016. I honestly do, and we'll see who's right or wrong. And I hope I'm right, because if I am, well, then things are going to turn out much better than they would if I were wrong. But believe me, I don't diss anybody's opinion of anything.
Well,
I just like to listen.
Plus, when you're right, it's always fun to be like, "I told you so." I told you.
So that's what I'll be saying to everybody. I told you so. I told you so.
I just think either way, if he wins, I think a lot of people on the left are going to hit people with that propaganda. They're already right. They're writing into law right now stuff that he can't undo. Right now, they're trying to write. They're sneaking it in as far as him, because he's saying he wants to fire a lot of the administrative state, and they're sneaking that in the law. They're already calling him a dictator.
Yeah,
so he has to fight through that and not even listen to him. Sometimes I think he gets a lot of bad advice, So we'll see. We'll see. I hope it works out. I really do. It would be for the betterment of this country.
It'll be for the betterment of the world. It's already worked out.
The world, exactly. You're right about that. So, but I just know. I don't know. I'm not going to say you're wrong, because I don't know, to be honest.
Oh yeah, that's true with all of us. I mean, it's just an opinion, it's not meant, and I'll just speak for myself, but my opinion is not meant to ever piss anybody off or anything. My opinion is just that, my opinion, And
Right.
no one has to believe it. You know, I don't really care. It's just my opinion. But that's
And
what I
that's
feel
my
about
thing.
it.
Like I was saying, most of my life, I didn't know anything about politics. And growing up, I just asked my dad, "What are we?" And he's like, "Democrat." I'm like, all right, that's what it. And that, I didn't care anything else about it. But when I did start getting into politics, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm definitely conservative. I'm way more conservative than you know." But now, up until maybe a year ago, from a year ago till now, I'm neither. I'm not Republican or Democrat. I'm a American citizen that just wants to live my life. You
Well,
know,
that's the way
I
everybody
hear
ought to
I,
be.
I hear
why does
that.
anyone have to get involved with what the hell I'm doing? Why did you
Yeah.
know?
Well,
Yeah.
you got to.
Just basically, let me just leave me alone. I just want to live my life and leave me alone,
Right.
But unfortunately, they're not leaving us alone, So I hear you. I'm the same way. I think a lot of people can't see that though, as far as how you're looking at it. They look at it through a lens of the Republican and Democrat. I'm becoming more
Right.
political atheist. I don't believe in any of them.
Yep.
More and more and
Me
more
too.
it goes
Yep.
on. So
That's where I'm
Let
kind
me
of
I
at now
hear you.
too.
let, let me answer Indy's question here, real quick. She says that they had their asses whooped in 2016. Then who are they? Then who are you holding accountable for the past 4 years, including the global genocide, Ronnie? That's going to be our illustrious president. That's why he's in there. I mean, there's no other answer to it. It'll be Joe Biden that they hold responsible. Plain and simple. I mean, that's my theory is that's why they put him in to begin with, is do all this bad stuff, and with Ukraine, Israel, everywhere, and here in this country, all the damage he's done here.
and
I
then
think
and
that
then
was,
he takes the fall for it. I could see that.
yeah, I
To me,
myself, I
that's
think
like
it'd be
elder
bad.
abuse. You know what I mean? He doesn't even know. You look at the guy and he doesn't know what's going on. If that was one of my patients, I wouldn't
Yeah.
let somebody use him like that. But these people don't care. He doesn't know what day it is. So I don't
He,
know.
either that or he's a very good actor. And I think he's a very good actor myself. And he says, so you're okay with Biden being a scapegoat? The Whiteheads are actually in charge because that's their plan. Yes, Indy, because he is one of the main guys that's caused all these problems all these years. I mean, who would you? Are you saying you want him to hold Trump responsible when he's not even? I mean, I don't get your point and what you're getting at there, Indy. But I can tell you right now that Biden and all of those guys, most of them in the Congress, and a lot of the what do they call them? The people that are there forever.
The administrate. A lot of people call him
Yeah,
administrative state. I don't, the
it's
people that.
SIS, I think. That's what
Yeah.
it's called. I'm not sure about that, but I think it's SIS. But what it means is that they're basically unaccountable. They're there forever. They can't be voted in or voted out. They're just there, and so that's one of the hardest things that he had to do is to get rid of them because they can't be fired. So
And he says that. So you're saying if Trump is in control, if he's in control, then this is all on him.
no, Wendy, that's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is that for all intents and purposes, it looks like Biden is in control. I mean, there's no doubt about that. It looks like he's in control. And he could actually be the president of the failed corporation that the U.S. was. So when all this ends, yes, all this stuff is going to be on him. How would you put it on Trump? I'd like to ask you a question. Who would you put it on? And if you put it on Trump, then how would you do that? I mean, why would you even want to think about it? Because he's not the one that's there doing this. I'm just saying, my opinion, of these things, and I definitely, well, I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that our resident before, this guy that's in there now, the real one, was a mess, and he's done some very, very bad things. It ain't gonna bother me none to see him try for all this stuff at all.
Yeah, I guess at the point where I kind of disagree is that he's in control. Right now, I look what they're doing to the guy. But again, that's just my opinion.
Yeah, it's all part of the movie.
My opinion and what I believe is that no president has ever been in control.
Well, that is true too.
Someone else controlling it, and
you got
it's just another way to divide.
Yeah, Tyne, you're absolutely right, and that is what I'm saying. But we all, believe me, even the ones that think we're awake, have a lot to learn when this is all said and done. But
that's true. Yeah, go ahead, sorry, Ryan.
I was just going to say, being awake certainly helps, though.
Yeah, I thank God that I can see. I'm sure I'm getting a lot. I only can look at what they're presenting to me. I'm sure I'm not looking at the full picture at all. So it's bits and pieces that I'm filling in, and I'm human. So those bits and pieces I'm filling in, I could be wrong about. I'll admit that. But I think I got a pretty good sense of it, not all of it, because again, I don't have top secret clearance or something. So it's hard. That's the part I pray about. That he just gives me Jesus just gives me a clarity about certain things I have questions with, and of course history's presented how they want to present. I don't think it's all true. So
no, it's not all true. I mean, that's just it. We don't know which parts are true and which ones ain't. But to understand all this, you have to literally start with Q. That's where you have to start. You have to start with Q and then work your way up through there. And then all the stuff that's telling about Derek Johnson has on his channel. But let me answer Andy again. She says, Ronnie, you just said they took control in 2016. Well, they did. That's when Trump won. And you show every night how other countries capitulated to Trump. Yes, I did. I do. But you're not putting in responsibility for the last 4 years on Trump? I sure enough ain't. No way am I putting responsibility on him. Like I said, this guy, the one that he's playing anyway, when he was with us, here on Earth, he did some very, very bad things. And so to get all this done right, and this is my opinion, no one else's, it's my opinion. To get everything done right, they had to have a guy. I mean, Trump could have done it, yeah. But can you imagine what the country would look like right now if he would have done it? I mean, there's no way people would have accepted all this stuff that's happened if Trump were the president. But with Biden, he's, guy's playing Biden. He's supposed to be a Democrat. So, being as they're the ones that always raise hell and destroy things, then they're all right. The conservatives aren't going to do anything until they absolutely have to. So, I mean, I don't understand any his argument.
Real quick for what Craig Jacobs said, because this is kind of changing it a little bit, but that pointed out because I just heard a couple of days, and I have to look into it. I just been so busy, but Hawaii is taking that right away.
The Second Amendment, Steve?
Basically, yeah. I got to look more into it, so I don't want to quote anything as but from what I've gathered from it so far and what I've heard is that basically, only the police can have guns and military, and I got to look deeper into it. That's the way it sounds, and they're, yeah. See, I suck at explaining shit, but I got to look deeper into it before I do.
Yeah,
you by yourself, so do I. I'm not good at explaining.
I mean, that's what they're trying to do. That's what they're trying to do. I mean, it's not constitutional at all. You have the right to protect yourself. I'm originally from Baltimore, but I moved around a lot. Probably lived in 7 different states. But you have a right to protect yourself, and a lot of times, the people that follow the law, in Baltimore or something, they don't want to carry a gun because they don't want to, commit. It's against the law a lot of times. But there's bad people around, and when you need help, it seems like the police aren't around. So
Yep, they're minutes late when seconds count.
yeah, exactly. So I'm not trying to tell people what to do, but it's totally, you have a right for self-protection. And
Oh shit, in Minnesota too.
so it cracks me up because they're like, nobody's trying to take it, but then whenever something happens, they're startling. The first thing, I can't even see what happened. The first thing you turn on the TV, we need to get rid of this, we need to get rid of that, but they're startling saying nobody's trying to take your Second Amendment rights away, and it's just a joke to me because they're trying every second they get. So,
they are. That's what all the false flags and things are about. I mean, the shootings that we're hear about almost every day now. That's what it is. I guarantee you. This latest one, where was it? I forgot now, but wherever it was, I guarantee you they're going to try to take our guns again because of that.
The parade, the
Kansas
City
and
thing.
you know why?
There was another one.
It's so easy. It's so easy for people that aren't firearm enthusiasts or people that don't like guns or approve of guns. It's so easy for them to be like, yeah, see, if no one could have guns, then that wouldn't happen. But they're not thinking, well, if people that do want guns had them, that probably wouldn't have happened because other people would have stopped it because the cops don't show up until after the fact. You know what I mean?
They'll find a way. You're letting these cartels come in the southern border, and they can bring anything under the sun. And you hear stories of things already going that way, and then they're coming back in, making their way back to the U.S. So if they could sneak drugs or whatever in, they could sneak that in, and people will find a way to get their hands on something. So it's just a lot of times the people that want to obey the law, they don't want to go against it because you don't want to, you don't want to get in trouble. You don't want to go to jail. So, unfortunately, I just think no man on this planet can tell you that you don't have a right to protect yourself. So that's just how I look at it. They can say whatever they want to say. So,
well, I plan on keeping what I've got. I mean, that's all there is to it. I mean, I'm an old guy anyway, so if I don't go before, if they were to do that before they got here to take them, well, then they're going to have a fight getting mine, is all I can say. And I mean that. Just give my damn weapons to them assholes or anybody else.
They got protection all day. They got bodyguards. They got protection all day. We don't have it. We can't afford it. I think last week was the first time the top 1% of earners in America took over the whole middle class as far as earnings go. First week, the first time in American history that the top 1% has more money than the middle class. So they could afford it. I can't. I'm struggling every day just like everybody else. And
no kidding.
I go through bad neighborhoods all the time. And I'm not going to look at somebody to protect me without me protecting myself. I care about me, and I care about other people too. It ain't just about me. So a good guy with a gun can stop a bad guy with a gun any day if you have the right training. So
Black Watch, you're absolutely wrong. I'm 198. You beat me out of what 4 years. Come on, dude.
Yeah, and shout out to all 90 plus people watching.
Absolutely. And who ain't hit the like button yet? I know a lot of people hadn't because I just went and looked. Come on, hit the like button, y'all, please. Monty says there is, man. Welcome, Monty. Good to see you, brother.
Hey, Monte. Aloha, brother.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, Monty. That's right.
I'm going to paste Southeast Wolverines link to his channel in Ronnie's chat right now. That's Southeast
Thank you,
Wolverines.
Steve.
Check him out for sure. And I'm gonna put it in my chat as well.
Thank you. Still growing the channel, still finding my place at YouTube. Steve's been helping me behind the scenes. We've been talking a lot, and thank you for that, Steve. Still trying to find
No
my way
worries.
with it. So bear with me. We'll get up there a little bit. Just ask
Hello,
people
Marie.
to remain patient with me because I'm just starting out and just learning. So
Well, that's what's great about the community that me and Ronnie have is we're all supporting, very supporting. Unless we don't agree with your opinion, then you can get the hell out of it. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Sorry, y'all. I got to answer this text.
I don't even. You said the like. That's weird. On mine, the likes are still at when we started, so I don't feel like refreshing it. Let's see. I'll refresh. How many likes does Ronnie have?
Not anywhere near enough. I should have 98 or at least, because it's showing 98.
You got 76.
Somebody's
But I
still
think
in
you're
here black.
I think you're beating David Devine though. So.
Well, that's good, but I want to beat him really, really, really bad. Oh, and I need to thank you and David for setting in for me last week. I appreciate that. I honestly do.
yeah, I like him. I got to get over to his channel. I like David. Seems like a good guy. Like him.
Yeah, really great guy.
Yeah, David's definitely a good guy. But he's all the time trying to beat me in likes, So. No, it's the other way around. I'm always trying to beat him, but calm down.
So Ron, I guess another question, I have that I would like to ask you is, they're trying to take, just to kind of switch it up a little bit, like our energy away. They're doing all this carbon stuff all over the globe. It's not just here in America. I think it's not making sense. All that, they talk about global warming and stuff. If you look, now anybody can Google this. If you look at how much the carbon dioxide makes up in the atmosphere, it's like 0.04%. 0.04%. So you mean to tell me you're going to switch up everything for that? And it doesn't make sense to me. And it's around the globe that it's happening. That's why I think and say they're in control. Just little things like that. So, which isn't a little thing, it's a big thing. So it's worldwide. So what do you think about just global warming and all that in general? I pretty much know your answer, but
well, they use it to outlaw us. That's what it's basically about. We are made up of carbon. That's what they're trying to get rid of is carbon.
And it's us. And it's us.
Yes, that's what it is. Pat Evans asked, are there really truckers locking up roads in D.C. or New York? I haven't even looked at the news today, Pat, or yesterday, as a matter of fact. So I couldn't tell you.
I heard a trucker. I forget his name. He's from Chicago, saying he was talking about to other truckers saying they didn't like the ruling on Trump. So a lot of truckers are going to not take loads out of New York City anymore. I heard that last night.
I did hear that, but I ain't heard anything about them blocking roads.
Yeah, me either.
Let's see. And he says, I was saying that people who follow Q like Ronnie believe the military is in control with T as CIC, but they also don't believe T is responsible for any crap that has happened. You got that right, Andy. That's absolutely right. Now, I don't know how it's all. I mean, I'm not in on it. I'm not there listening to the plans and everything, but I would like somebody else to explain it better if you can. I mean, an opinion's an opinion, but I would sure like someone else to explain it. Uh-oh. Did my camera go out or something? I guess it did.
Yeah, it's just showing a picture. Just showing your picture now.
I like the new avatar.
Yeah, that's cool, ain't it?
I like Andy. Andy helped me out a lot, getting, helping me, You know, Indy was the first person that I came across to let somebody post a link on her channel. Most of the time, you go to another channel and you say, you know, check out my channel. They just kick you off or erase your comments. Maybe it's YouTube erasing them. You know, a lot of times
Right.
YouTube erase comments and people come at me, why'd you erase my comment? And I'm like, I didn't do it. I didn't even see it because I try to answer comments back all the time. But people have accused me for erasing comments. I'm like, it's YouTube because if I see it, I try to answer it back. So, but Andy's helped me a
Right.
lot, and I appreciate Andy. And I'm glad
Yeah,
I
she's awesome.
crossed her path. I think
Here's Ronnie. Ronnie's back.
she has a beautiful soul.
Is it working, Ronnie? Oh, she does. Yeah.
No, it's not working. I'm going to unplug it right quick though and see if it'll work, and plug it back in, of course. I hate that. That's why I have to keep the computer pulled out all the time because this happens all the time. And I got to pull it out some more so I can see. Darn it! Uh-oh, what did I do?
Ain't got no gas in it.
Undoubtedly not.
But Ronnie India was saying she was just telling Hit Gal, she was just that last comment you went by her. She was just answering something Hit Gal asked her. So
I got you. Let's see. I think this is it.
But I can't remember which thumbnail I used for this one. But do you think that AI picture was pretty close to Ronnie?
There I am.
I liked it. I liked it. Did you make that?
Well, I did. I had another picture of Ronnie, and then I did AI and said to generate, some,
Yeah, I think guy. Ronnie has he might see me say in the chat. I think he has a great. I love listening to the radio, and Ronnie has a great radio voice.
Oh yeah.
I radio face Ronnie forever. Excuse me, I didn't hear you, sir.
I said a radio face too.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's real soothing. I like it. I listen to a lot of radio, a lot. You have a great radio voice. So,
well, thank you. Maybe one of the big radio stations will hear me and give me a job as a disc jockey.
They should, in my opinion.
For real. That's why you're good at singing too, like that the old country music and stuff. You got the perfect voice.
He's a good. I'm glad I met him. Glad I met both of you guys. You know, people in chat. I've been getting to know people in chat too. So, I think I'm right where the good Lord above wants me to be. Just think we can all come together and just try to. I don't know, like a think tank of what we should do. Because a lot of times I feel like I'm just spinning around in circles like a dog chasing my tail, and I get frustrated a lot because it seems like we're never moving forward with different things, and pretty much know that these people don't care. So it's like sometimes I just think we just play defense a lot and take what's coming at us, and when we should be on the offense a little bit more. And I'm not talking about anything with violence, because like I said, I'm against violence, but as far as legally and put together like a think tank or something like that, I don't know, or just maybe these discussions are helping more, so because I guarantee they sit around and think about us. So I don't know, I just get frustrated sometimes.
Yeah, we all do. Believe me, we all get frustrated. I mean, that's why one of the reasons why I haven't even I've been on 3 times in the last month or something like that on my show. I mean, it just I just get so worn down by it that I just have to stay off for a while. And, it just gets depressing, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah. It's always good to take a step back and recharge your batteries with it.
Yeah. Sure.
Hey, Isaac, if it helps any, about a half hour ago, I think you were at like 291 for subscribers, and you're at 300 now. So.
Oh, thank you guys so much. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Let's get Southeast Wolverines to like 500, and Ronnie too. Ronnie, I don't understand how Ronnie doesn't have 5,000. I really don't.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times people are. I probably woke up. I don't want to age myself, but as far as like learning about stuff, I'm in my 40s. I'll just say that. I'm in my 40s. I'll just say that. Clinging on by an inch.
Well, you know, when you get 40, you're over the hill.
Yes. But
I'm just kidding.
and I could be wrong. I don't know. It's just my opinion. If I find somebody out there that has a lot of interest as far as love in this country goes, I'm gonna go and sub to them because I think their voice is just as important as my voice, you know. But we don't, for whatever reason, we don't subscribe to one another, or you subscribe and people fall off. I know people get busy, but to me, if we all went around and subbed up each other, it's only raising your voice up, and your voice matters too. Everybody here in chat, everybody on the panel, we're all looking for the same goal. And I think if we just kind of look out for one another, as far as that goes, it lifts your voice up. And don't do it for me. Do it for yourself. Do it for your grandkids. Do it for your kids, because they matter, you know? So that's one thing I think we could do a lot better on, including myself. And so I'm not trying to put down anybody, but that's the least you could do. It doesn't cost a thing except time, you know? So it's just my opinion. Again, I just think, you know, use other people's voice to lift your voice up.
Hello, Miss Lisa.
Hey, Lisa, aloha.
Yeah, well, like you said a while ago, the people haven't been standing up enough, you know, and fighting back for the things we should have been. And I blame myself for that too. Like in 72, whatever year it was, when they okayed abortion, I didn't do a thing. I didn't call a senator. I didn't write a letter. I didn't do anything. Believe me, I feel bad about that. But it wasn't just me. It was the whole country that basically did the same thing. And I mean, there were people out there fighting against it. Yeah, but for the most part, the whole country just said, oh, well. And that was a terrible, terrible day for this country when they okayed abortion. I mean, killing babies outright. I mean, I can't get that. I don't get it. I'll never get it. I don't know how you.
I don't agree with it at all. I don't agree with it at all.
Hell no.
So, yeah, but you know. Go ahead, Ronnie. I'm sorry. I apologize.
But then they outlawed it again. So now we're back on the right path, you know, of getting that out of the way. That was the main thing. I mean, can you imagine how God in heaven feels when he knows that a country that's supposed to be, you know, under him, worshiping him, goes out and kills babies? I don't care what the reason is, you know, to me, it makes no difference. You're still killing a baby. And for the life, and I'm sure there are ways that a mother's life could be endangered by the child she's carrying. And if that's the case, well, then, you know, maybe an abortion is all right. But for the most part, there should never be an abortion. I mean, especially there's a way to stop it. There's a way to stop kids being born, and that's to quit having sex when you ain't married. I mean, you know,
use them. Yeah, there's 1,000 ways, and people just don't. And then, you know, you got to live with the consequences if you do that. Don't put it on the baby because you made the mistake, you know.
Exactly.
And people look at it like, oh, I can't buy a pair of jeans now because of it or something. You know, it's like a monetary thing. Why you would do it? That's kind of what they push about you not having certain things because you have to take care of a baby. You might have thought about that before you had sex, you know. So
yeah, no kidding. That's exactly right.
That's how I look at it. I don't agree with it in some cases, maybe, you know, as far as I don't really want to get into, you know, the mother or, you know, in case of other things, I don't really want to get into that. But I overall, I don't agree with it at all. So.
No, ain't no way I'd ever agree with it. I mean, you know, it's so simple to for a woman to keep from getting pregnant. And if she's raped, now that's another story. Or, you know, if it's incest, that's definitely another story.
Exactly.
But just, you know, to have abortion on demand is about the most evil thing that I ever think could happen. and our country okayed it.
You know,
So
and it's
when
like a control. You know, it's controlling, trying to keep the population down. Like we were talking about you know, we're the carbon. You know what I mean? And it's just like to put that in to someone's head, to do that to their own children is just, man, it's what else can you say about it other than it's diabolic, you know?
that's exactly what it is. Well, let me, being as you're here and you're a nurse, how big is the hospital you work in, first of all? And how many deaths did y'all have from COVID during the pandemic?
Okay. Well, okay, so I don't work at a hospital. I work at more at a rehabilitation place, like a lot of spinal cord injuries,
Oh, okay.
a lot of people with like MS. And earlier on in my career, I was really hands-on with patients, but now I'm more in a supervisor role. As far as I'm a supervisor of other nurses right now. When the pandemic started, I actually lost my job. I had a job for 15 years and lost it because I refused to take the jab, and
Wow.
I refused to give it.
After 15
Yeah,
years
yeah, I had a
and
job for
refused to give it, right? Good for
yeah.
you though, man. I
So
mean,
I lost my
that's such
job over it and almost lost everything because I had a hard time finding a job because everybody in the nursing world, they're expecting people to take it. So I had I wiped out my whole savings. I almost lost my house over it.
dang.
So I went through a lot, but keeping in touch with the people I work with in my area, I live in Virginia, and my area was devastating. It was devastating. The place I used to work at, it came through like a wildfire, and a lot of deaths where I used to work at. So I wasn't during the whole time there, so I didn't see it eyes on, I guess. So I had to take a lot of other people's words for it. But to my understanding, it was devastating in my area. So I don't know. It took me almost 2 years to find another job because of it. So
Well,
Damn.
is Virginia a liberal state or a Republican state?
well, it used to be very conservative. It used to be like when I first moved here, it was a very conservative state. Now a lot of illegals, and especially, of course, the cities, just like any other state, seems like the cities turn more blue, especially up around DC. You have a lot of liberals up there, and unfortunately now it takes control of the whole state. Um, the rest of the state is very conservative, but right now we have a governor that's conservative, but during these past elections, it flipped blue again, and it goes back and forth a lot. Again, just like any state, you could look around, and all of America is basically conservative except for the city. So Virginia is the same, but we do have a conservative governor at this time. But like I said, this past November, it flipped blue as far as the Senate and everything else goes. So, they had a big issue with school rights. So a lot of people say, that some of these books and stuff they're bringing into the schools. So that's why they elected our current governor. To me, he's not doing enough. We get in these positions and we just kind of sit back instead of going offensive a lot, in my opinion. And you sit there and you wonder, man, the economy's so bad. How could people vote these people in? And they do. They mention abortion and people lose their mind.
Oh, yeah.
So and they vote for it. In Virginia, as long as a lot of other states flip to blue again. So that's why I don't these elections. I try to look at it. Nothing's set in stone to me, and the past elections prove it. I don't know. I know I'm kind of sort of in a bubble as far as like, seems like I don't see no Biden signs around ever. you know.
Right.
But they do some funny things and extracurricular activities, if you know what I'm saying, as far as creating votes out of no place and bringing them in. So who knows? I don't like to say we're winning until we won. So I don't know, you know. But yeah,
Well,
we're just
I can't
Virginia's
say
just
as I
like
know
any
how
other
it's
state.
okay. Can't say as I know how it's all going to work out like that, but I just know that a lot, if not all, the governors have been, you know, warned about things that are to come, and if they don't straighten their ways up, well, they'll be gone too. And last night I was showing, I know you were there when I was showing that video about uh Walmart, you know, and all that stuff. They,
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
you know, I don't think for a minute that that's still in operation. That was, if it was, you could bet your butt a lot of us would be in those centers. Us, you know, not the bad guys, but us. So I mean,
Yeah, I
they've had
kind of
those things now for 15 to 20 years since Obama was in office, at least.
yeah, I was kind of worried about it at first. I'm thinking the same. It's not for that. I know they're housing a lot of illegals now in them. You know,
Well, that's
seeing
fine with
different
me.
videos. Yeah, I don't think they're being used for that now. Could they in the future? Who knows? You know.
Well,
So
the way I look at it is this is God's battle. I truly believe that it's God's battle,
Wow.
and God ain't going to be defeated by Satan. That's just all the heck there is to it, in my opinion. You know, I mean,
yeah,
everybody can
that's
think what they want to think, but that's
no,
definitely
no.
my opinion.
I mean, that's my opinion too. So at the end, we win. You know, no matter what, if you're in to godly principles, that's shouldn't be afraid of nothing. You
That's
know,
right.
so it's kind of
Don't
how
fear
I live
nothing.
my life. But at the same time, I think we should prepare for what. I'm not saying it's gonna come. I'm just saying it could come. As far as like a war or something like that, or an economic collapse, anything like that. I just think people should be prepared for it. If it doesn't come, good. It's not like I'm wanting
Right.
it to come,
I think there's
but
definitely going to be an economic collapse. I definitely think that's coming myself. I don't say get around it, particularly when the money collapses, and it's going to collapse. I mean, I have no idea when, but it's going to collapse. The dollar.
yeah, Ronnie, I seen you. You were talking about all the banks closing down. That's real. They want to bring in these
Yeah.
digital currencies and stuff,
Yes, it's
and
real.
Yeah. And it's
so
like you're saying too. It's hey James, Gype, aloha, brother. But it's like saying, it's better to be prepared and not need to be prepared than not be prepared
For
yeah,
damn sure.
need to be
yeah,
prepared.
a lot of people don't
You
want to
know?
look at it. A lot of people, oh, I'm not into the doom and gloom, but you don't have to be into the doom and gloom for the doom and gloom to
Yeah.
be in you. You hear what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Right.
you can look at it and turn your
Like
head to
think
me. I
about
want to
it.
face it. I want to
Yeah.
Well,
face
I
here's
think JS Urban Adventure said it a couple weeks ago. He's like, if everything just shut down, like I think he said like within 30 days or something, like 70% of all mankind would just be gone because you couldn't hack it. You know what I mean? Like you got to think about it. Like throw yourself out in the middle of nowhere on a Friday and just be like, there you go,
yeah,
survive. Like, would
well,
you
I
have
know
any clue on what to do?
yeah. I
Q said there'll
put
be
my
a lot of people go crazy. You know, at the end of this, when we all find out exactly who's at the top of that, really at the top of that pyramid, he's saying a lot of people will go crazy from that. And I've thought about that so much, and I'm not saying I'm right, but uh, what if there are such things as those big, tall, snake-like, alligator-like people living underground, and they're at the top of this because I mean, now Satan is referred to as the dragon. So a dragon
this
is
the
a
year of the
reptile,
dragon.
and a dragon is a reptile. So maybe that's what I don't know, but I'm just saying is to me there's something in charge at the very top that is not man, and that's what I think is what Q was getting at. We'll find out for sure, but
Pardon me one sec. I'll be right back. Pardon me one second.
yeah, no problem.
Is that true? What LSP said? He said Tucker went shopping in Russian supermarket. He bought a week's worth of food for a family of 4, $100. Wow.
He did go
For
shopping. I didn't
a
see how much he
family of
spent.
4.
Oh,
See, I
he
didn't watch that. I didn't watch that. So
I know he loved Russia. I mean, he was telling Putin how clean and neat and everything it was, and all the buildings were beautiful and all that. And he said, he told him, he said, I guarantee you that everything here looks 100% better than it does in my country. I mean, in Russia, they're always talking about, they're going to do this. They're falling into a recession or a depression or whatever. It's just the opposite. Russia's doing great. I mean, even with the war they're supposedly fighting with, what's the name? Ukraine. They're still doing great.
Yeah, Ronnie, you showed the Putin interview with Tucker Carlson, right?
No, I was going to, but
Oh, you didn't. You decided against it.
YouTube would probably definitely shut you down.
Yeah. Wow. I don't. They were showing him going shopping over there at the grocery stores, how stuff was cheap and stuff over there. So, that's a lot of propaganda to us as far as how bad Russia
What
is.
throws me off is I don't remember the name of the movie, but it was a comedy movie. But those dudes went to like North Korea, and they're like, "Yeah, come on in," but they had it all staged and set up and made it look like, and then they like figured out like, "Oh, that's all fake." Like even for the
I
people
know.
that
I forget the
made
name.
the movie.
I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's like the hat I'm wearing. Believe nothing, question everything. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's just,
that's exactly what it should be. You need to question everything.
Sure
Believe me,
do.
as much as I think of President Trump, I still question him. I mean, if I were to find out anything bad about him, I guarantee you I'd get on the internet as soon as I could and tell it. I mean, what he's tried to screw our country over or whatever, you can bet your butt I'd be telling about it.
Yeah,
But
go ahead, Ron. I'm sorry.
now,
I apologize.
If they can't find anything on him, I mean, these top prosecutors and everything, the entire government, with the impeachment and everything, how's anybody else going to find anything on him? You're not.
Yeah.
well, the only thing I got against him is when he was for and supporting the red flag laws, because I'm like, what? Come on, man.
I know we give up
Like,
a lot of ground on
that's
this.
like, I could live like 2 blocks from you, Ronnie, and be like, yeah, that old man, he's cuckoo. That guy's crazy. And then they're going to come take your shit away because I said that.
Yeah.
That's not fair to nobody.
I agree.
No. And,
Like,
I question it too. I think he has a blind spot as far as the people he puts around him, Some of the people, he said he's going to take out the swamp, and then he hired half the swamp. To be honest, I'm just being honest. If you look,
well, have you ever heard the old saying, "Keep your friends close and your enemies closer"?
Well, that is true too.
That's what he was doing. That's what. Yeah, he makes it look like he didn't know all this. When he went in, I mean, he's been working with the military ever since JFK was killed, at least since then, to get this done. So you can bet he knew as much as the military did when he became president. I'm just saying, that why would he become president if he didn't know what was going on and have control?
Yeah.
I think him and the military are in control, like 50-50.
I just think Pence was a mistake in my eyes. Why would you pick him? Hopefully he'll learn from that mistake. I don't know.
Charlie.
I think he made not too good of decisions. It's hard to say if I was in his shoes. I don't know. I could look at it and question stuff all day long, but hopefully to me, he learned from the mistakes that he learned the first time. That's all I can look for and hold him accountable. I think sometimes when he was in, I was so busy to everybody else at work. A lot of people hated him, called me, "Oh, that's the Trump guy," at work and stuff. I spent a lot of time defending him for things instead of when we get that person that is in there for us, we should be demanding things that come in our favor. Like what Steve just said, the red flag laws, the removing conservative voices off of platforms, and he did none of that, and we should have been demanding more of that. When we get somebody that's in there for our interests, we should be demanding more from them instead of sitting
What
back.
more would we have asked though from
Well, he could have did a
Wolverines?
lot more with the internet, in my opinion. In my opinion, the conservative voice is getting shut down a lot of places. Can't even,
Oh, yeah. Well, he
in
couldn't do
my
anything
opinion.
about that. And like
Well,
here on
he could a
no.
little bit, in my opinion.
Well, the way they got it rolled up, and this is through Congress. The way I understand it is that they gave, like Google and YouTube, they more or less gave them a pass. They can, it's in the law that allowed Google and YouTube to exist, that they could block anybody because they're a private company. They make their own rules. I don't agree with it. Believe me, I don't agree with it.
Yeah, they get money though. They get money.
Oh,
They get funded from us.
yeah, but
You
it don't make any
so
difference.
yeah, I
I
just
mean,
think I don't know. I'll just disagree with you on that. I think he could have did. I mean, you're writing executive orders all day, and he's not writing that executive order, in my opinion. I think he
yeah,
could
and
have did a little bit more.
hello, Penny. Like I say, well, the reason he didn't though is because of it's rolled into law in Congress. That's I don't know if he can write an executive order against what's been okayed in Congress. Maybe he can. I don't know, but I'm just saying.
Because I think it's a freedom of speech issue. I really do.
So do I.
So
Believe me, I do. But what are you going to do? I mean, the only thing you can do is sue them, and they've got it rolled up into law. So you'd lose the lawsuit. What's happening? My opinion again, and this is after a lot of study on it, is they're letting these places bring themselves down, and sooner or later, if they don't bring themselves down, the people that are left in power, the higher up ones, will switch everything off themselves. And when they do that, poof, there goes internet and all that stuff.
yeah, well, that's true. They could take it out at any time,
Yeah, and that's what they've been talking about now for a while, with the cyber. Of course, they're going to blame the cyber attack on somebody overseas, pick your poison there. But
and we'll never know what
they'll
happened.
Be the ones that did it.
Yeah, they could blame Russia. They could blame whoever.
Exactly.
Once you cut off means of communication, people are going to be left in the dark. A lot of people come on the internet to get their news, and you cut that off. A lot of people are going to be left in the dark unless you have a ham radio or a radio or something like that. But who even knows if they keep that? Soros just bought a whole bunch of radio stations across the whole country. I think more than 200.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. No shit.
Yeah. So, communications are going to be limited. So,
yeah. And what's the deal with the Zuckerberg's $1 billion or 100 million, whatever it is, bunker that he's got going?
Is that your island? The island you live on? I want
to. It's Maui, different island, but
so
not far. Like all the islands are pretty close, so yeah, it's not far.
So they're preparing for something. If all the rich people get bunkers and stuff, that's what I'm trying to say. They're preparing for something. They just don't build bunkers for no reason at all, just to have a clubhouse.
Especially to put that much money into it. I mean, I don't care if you already have billions and billions of dollars, but that's an expensive bunker. Ironton Auditor, aloha, brother.
Yeah, well, thank you for hitting that like button, Ironton. I hope everybody else hit it too. I know there's a few that have it. Well, more than a few.
Do it.
Yeah, do it.
So, Steve, you live around a lot of like Navy bases and stuff, like where you live.
Yeah. I'm on Oahu, which is the most populated military of, I've been told, all of America, but I'm like just a couple miles from Pearl Harbor.
Oh, it's beautiful there. I know that it is beautiful. I love looking at the shorts you do and just showing like the ocean and stuff. It's paradise, really, paradise on earth. Really, probably different from Detroit, right? A little bit.
Yeah, huge difference from Detroit.
Steve, I've been hearing a lot about earthquakes over there. Have you?
I guess there was one on the Big Island, which is where Nina's daughter lives with the grandboys. And yeah, she said she was at work and the walls were shaking a little bit, but nothing like major, I guess.
Good. I heard there were several of them though. I mean, I don't know. That's what I heard on the news that I watch and pay attention to.
Yeah, I've never in my life experienced a. Supposedly, but I've never actually like, whoa, what was that? You know what I mean? Never felt an earthquake.
I have, and it ain't no fun. Although it wasn't a big one, I'd never been in one at the time, and that's when we lived just where I moved from. We lived about 3 miles from there, and it's probably about 11, maybe 12 o'clock at night. And I was sitting at the computer. My wife had gone to bed, and the house, first of all, it goes, this way, and then it starts going the other way. Rolls. I mean, there was no doubt it was an earthquake. And so I was going to run into the bedroom and get my wife, and she met me at the door. What was it? Was that an earthquake? I said, yeah, it's an earthquake. Let's get the hell out of here. But it never happened again. We didn't even have to go outside. It just, those two things, one going this way, another going this way, it just stopped.
Right.
I'm thinking the earthquake was in Oklahoma.
I may have experienced one, but with how bad the potholes are and everything, I was probably driving and just thinking that, yeah, these roads suck. And they're like, yeah, it was a huge earthquake. I'm like, I just thought that was a road.
Yeah, we had one in Virginia, like right when I moved here, and I was sleeping, and I lived next to railroad tracks. And my girlfriend at the time, it was, you felt the whole house rumbled. She was like, there's something going on. And I was like, oh, just go back to sleep. It's the train. But I woke up in this earthquake.
Yeah, we didn't even have time to get scared because it happened so fast, And I was sitting there for a second or two, when I was stunned. I'm thinking, what the hell? Yeah. I mean, here in this part of Texas, we just don't have earthquakes. But it was in Oklahoma. The earthquake was quite a ways up there. And somehow or another, one of the shock waves, whatever the hell they call it, tremors, hit down here. And this is the house we were living in. We had another house in Princeton, the one I just sold. And man, it messed the driveway up, the patio up. I mean, it just busted the concrete all to pieces, where it wiggled when it came through there. Just busted the shit out of the concrete.
Wow. That was the first time I didn't even know what was going on. So I was just like, wow, whole house shook. I went back to sleep though.
That's what I did once I got settled down. I got my butt and went to bed too. They're definitely scary, particularly when you're in an area that's never had one.
I didn't have a chance to get scared when the whole missiles were coming at Hawaii because we never got we didn't even know nothing about it. Me and Nina were sleeping, and then like 2 hours later, we get up and we're like, "What's going on?" They're like, "Oh, it's false." I'm like, "We would have been sleeping." So if it did happen, we would have never even known.
Yeah, they sent out alerts, right? The alert system or something you guys have?
But me and Nina didn't get one. They're supposed to, but we didn't get one at all.
And they have those sirens too, right? Or not?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, the sirens definitely work on the first day of the month, every month at 11:45 a.m. They definitely work then. But other than that, never hear them go off except 11:45 a.m. first of the month.
Wow. Steve, here we got another
first Monday.
And Wolverines, here we got another Michigander here. Penny. Boy, everybody from Michigan.
Right on, Penny. Wait.
My parents live in New York State right now.
Penny, wait a minute. I think I know you, Penny. Your picture looks very. I'm not gonna say your name. Her name's not Penny, if that's who I'm thinking. But
she's a pretty penny, regardless.
Yeah, she's wow. I wonder if that's you. Wow, I'm very curious now. No, I used to live like a couple blocks from her. That is.
Oh, really?
If that's the person I'm thinking of, she looks a lot like her. If not, she's got a doppelganger.
Well, I got to ask you a question, Ben. And I don't know if this is before you was married or after, or got with Nina, or afterwards that you're talking about when you thinking you're. Did you ever ask her for a date?
No, she way above my league.
Ronnie, you're in Texas, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Latina asked. Hi, Latina. Latina helped me out a lot too when I first started. I love Latina. She's like a sister to me.
Latina's
Oh yeah, Latina. Okay, Penny says nope. So okay, so I'll say the first name. The person I was thinking, her name's Carrie, but I'm telling you, that's doppelganger. She looks just like this. I only say Carrie because I'm not going to dox anyone, but wow, you look just like Carrie. That's crazy.
And she's definitely a pretty penny, no doubt about it.
Oh yeah, yep.
Just not the spending kind of penny. Oh, she says she's 61 years old. Well, good. I'm 73.
Okay, okay. This who I thought you were is well, you could be Penny's mom, or you could be the other Penny's mom. You could be because this one she's in her like mid 40s. So, and you can still be her mom because I was 16 when I had a kid. So,
I need to get a picture of me when I was younger and put it on in my avatar
in your
thing.
chat. Or in your
that way I wouldn't scare.
That's 61. Wow.
I know it.
No.
Yeah.
Hello, 61.
No shit. Well, Penny, exactly. Do you still look pretty much today like you did in the picture? If you do, will you marry me? Just kidding, Penny. And she says, nope, I have a daughter, but nope, she's 38. So that's a lot of nopes.
That's cool. So what part of Detroit did you were you like Metro Detroit or actual Detroit, or because I lived in Detroit and then I lived Metro Detroit and all over. You name the city, there's a 80% chance I lived there because I moved around a lot.
Steve was a gypsy.
Yep.
Me too. I lived it.
He's a gypsy.
I lived in 7 different states, so that's moving around a lot.
Hope arising.
Hey, hope arising. Aloha. Never.
Of course not. I know. We don't ever behave ourselves. If we behaved ourselves, we wouldn't have a show. Steve,
how did you get out to Hawaii? How did you get out there from Detroit?
Well, I was just sick of the cold, and a good friend of mine that I met plumbing when I was 16, he was like, dude, we got a skilled trade, man. We could go anywhere, and I'm like, yeah, but that's, and so he moved out here, and then after he was here for like a year or two, and I was just like, and I was getting more and more sick of the cold and more sick of the cold, and it was harder to find work, and so he lined me up with a job for a company out here, and like, screw it. I packed it, literally took nothing but a duffel bag, just put whatever I could in the duffel bag, and I moved out here.
And it's been a good move, huh? You glad you did it? Well, you met your wife out there, so that's beautiful.
Yep.
So
but I mean, it took me more than once because I did move out here, and then I was like, yeah, this is paradise, man. And it was such paradise that I forgot to go to work a couple times, and they're like, hey, man, you can't do that. So I had to move back. And then I had to save up again and move back again. And then, but it took me like 3 times before I moved out here and like stuck. But then when I met my wife like 9 years ago, then it was like, yeah, this is home, like without a doubt.
Yeah. It's probably expensive out there, right?
Oh yeah,
compared to Detroit.
Definitely.
How long after you moved to Hawaii, Steve, did you meet Nina?
I was here 5, maybe 6 years before I met her.
So you were just whining and dining and living it up in all those years, huh?
Yeah.
Don't blame
me. Life. I was partying every night, but then when me and Nate had when I was still working with him at EverTrust, and I was basically living at the shop, even though I had my own place. It was just work. I was just working, like, not really though, because to me it's never really like work. It's just you know, keeping busy doing stuff. But I'd still go out and party more than I should.
Here's the true story how you got to Hawaii. You took the Oregon Trail and then
Yeah.
tied a few ropes to sea
You
turtles
know?
and rode them like a jet ski to Hawaii. Thank you, Hope, for letting
Yeah.
us know all that.
And then
like
when I
that.
got here, I got arrested because you're not allowed to touch the turtles.
Say what?
They're like,
Is that
that's
how it
against
is?
the law. No,
What?
it really is a law. It's against the law to touch the turtles.
What the hell's wrong with touching a turtle?
I don't know.
What if you're trying to save them from getting hit if they're crossing the road or something?
Right, I know.
You can't touch them.
You're not allowed to touch them. It's weird.
Shoot,
It's a
here,
stupid law.
them big old turtles, you know, like live in the sea and stuff. There's a few of them around here. And back when I was a kid, I never rode one, but I did see some of my friends ride a turtle. Just jump on its back. I mean, you wasn't going very fast
See,
wherever you was going.
Dude, that's funny because I heard a story. I don't know if it was a joke or if it was real, but someone was like, and it was a local too. He's like, no, because you dumb howlies, you come out here and get on it and try to ride it. It's not good for the turtle. Like, so they make it one law. Okay.
Yeah,
I
but
thought he was
touching it and riding
joking,
is
but
two
now
different
that you
things.
just said that, I'm like, I don't know, maybe that is what happened. Maybe tourists were coming out here riding the turtles and they're like, damn it, you're going to jail if you do that again.
Yeah, but there should have been no riding turtles, not no touching them.
Yeah, no shit, right?
Damn.
Yeah, be more
Exactly.
specific on the law, man. Come on. Come on, man. But they still got dumb laws on every state.
Yeah. Here
There's like some states where you're not allowed to have a donkey in your bathtub.
in Virginia, a single
Right.
man can't own a sheep.
Oh no, the single man's got to have sheep. Come on now, that's cold.
If he gets lonely.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what they say. I don't own any sheep. just in case you're wondering.
You don't know. Well, you need to get you one then.
That's something I don't have in my preparedness bag.
That's right. And you're a prepper, so you better get you a sheep, or you're going to be out in the cold for sure.
Try to stick to the law. I try to stick to the law a little bit.
A nurse without a sheep, boy, that'd be a pitiful shame, wouldn't it? Not have a job or anything, and don't have a sheep.
I don't know, like who makes those laws, you know? I don't know. I think they're from back in the day or something.
Yeah.
You know, what were they doing in Virginia back then, you know?
Oh, okay. Well, thank you, Penny. I don't remember. Oh, you were in the chat, I guess you're saying. Got you.
Yeah, and speaking of Krieg, we just let him down because the main reason he wanted to come to Hawaii was to ride the turtles.
Now, Creek, after drinking a few Bud Lights, he wouldn't remember it anyway.
Yeah. Wake up in Hawaii jail and be like, I did what? Was it fun?
A turtle. What you in here for? Riding a turtle.
Bro, you drank all them damn Bud Lights and then come out here and rode a turtle. That's what you did.
Right.
Now you're in jail.
Creek's in jail and they're all like, what are you in here for? One guy's like, robbed a bank. The other guy's like, man, I offed my whole family. And they look at Creek like, what about you? He's I was riding a turtle.
They all give him his dessert, their dessert.
Right, yeah.
Anything
don't mess
but
with
a turtle.
that dude. Don't mess with that Creek guy, man. He's riding a turtle.
I wished I would have rode one when I had the chance, but I didn't. You know what? I was afraid them big old suckers would somehow get their neck around and bite my foot off. And that's why I never rode one.
Their necks are creepy, man. When they stick their necks out, that's like, yeah, I don't know. It's creepy to me for some reason.
Yeah, I know. Well, they're
like dinosaurs. They look like a little dinosaur or something.
Remind me of a snake. You know, the head does.
Yeah, and then when it sticks it out, like their neck is like 2 feet long, and this is weird, creepy looking.
And that's exactly why I didn't want to get on one of them turtles. And there were several of them out there too. I mean, it wasn't like just one turtle to ride. There was, I don't remember how many, but there were several.
Wow, they don't get that big here. Wow.
Man, these suckers were big. And where they were at, there was this used to be an old sewage treatment lake. that we didn't go to the lake. We just walked by it to go where we was going to. And that's where those big old turtles were. They were living in that damn sewage lake. How they did that, I don't know, but they did. And so when we walked by there, if they were out doing whatever, walking around, well, some of my idiot friends would jump on them and ride them.
Wonder if the chemicals made them that big. All the chemicals they use.
Good question. I never thought of that. That's a damn good question.
Yeah, well, that's out here. If you go to the North Shore at a certain time of the year, they're everywhere. Like,
wow,
it causes traffic because they are crossing the road and stuff, and it's just like a two-way road, one going this way, one going that way, and here comes all these turtles, and it's like, shit, now we got to sit here and wait.
Wow, they're big. Hey, they're real big.
Yeah, huge.
Yeah,
that's what actually
I got to ask Mr. Bobby a question right quick, if you don't mind. Where in the world have you been, Mr. Bobby? I ain't seen you in my chat in a month. You better come back.
I like Mr. Bobby.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Bobby's cool. But, yeah, I just put out a short a few days ago, and it was from last Sunday's podcast, and I was telling the story about my experience with a turtle, but I thought it was a shark. And this is when I first moved here. But, yeah, if you go check that short out, it tells the whole story in like 40 seconds. So
I seen the one you put out with the lotion.
Shark. Now, I'm missing something here. I got Steve ain't gonna answer. He's mesmerized.
I didn't hear you. I didn't hear what you guys said.
I said, how do you mistake a turtle for a shark?
Oh, well, you got to go watch the short. You got to go. No, because I was stand-up paddleboarding, and like I said, I just moved here. And I've always been afraid of the ocean, and because I watched Jaws. I watched Jaws growing up. Like even if I'm in a swimming pool, I think Jaws is gonna bite my foot off. So I'm stand-up paddleboarding, and then I got my sunglasses on, and so the sunglasses kind of makes a difference if you have them on or off, especially when you're out on the water and all I see was this big thing swim literally right underneath me. And I just freaked out and ended up losing my balance, fell off my paddleboard, lost my glasses. Turned out it was a turtle. It was a very big turtle. But
wow.
He didn't try to take a hunk out of you, did he?
No, I lost my glasses, a very expensive pair of glasses too, because those are in the ocean already. I jumped back on, and not even stand-up paddleboard style. I just jumped back on it on my chest, and I'm like, as quick as I could to get back.
Well, it's a good thing you had on a good pair of swimming trunks, because if he would have seen that little worm, he would have thought it was a real worm. He would have went
out of the water,
bite out of you.
He said, "Oh, there's my dinner, ready and waiting." Oh man, that would be something. Wouldn't it be out there? What was you doing? Paddleboarding?
Stand-up paddleboarding, yeah. I want to get into that again. I really want to get into that again because it's so therapeutic, man. You're just on the water and just it's so relaxing.
What are you gonna do if you see a real shark?
I don't know. If I go back to Lanikai, from what I've found out since then, is because Lanikai, the way it is, it's real calm water, and there's what do they call it? I can't remember what they call it. But they have it to where any shark that could hurt you, they can't get into that section because it's got it's going to drive me nuts to think of it. The reef. They got reefs out there where sharks can't get into that area. So.
Yeah, I think when they showed Jaws, a lot of people got scared of the water back in the day. Yeah. The ocean's big.
Yep, it ruined my childhood for swimming. I'd be in a swimming pool and scared. It's like, dude, there's no shark in the swimming pool.
Because it's rare. Shark attacks are rare, but you don't want to be the one that gets attacked.
Right.
So they're big, real big. I see them at Virginia Beach sometimes. So,
Mr. B says, I can't walk down the hall without a personal relationship. No way, I'm paddleboarding. Oh, come on, Elvis. I come watch if you will. But you got to do it where there's gigantic turtles or sharks, one or the other. Can't just be a regular old paddleboarding thing.
See, I didn't do it long enough either to get good enough at it. And that's the reason I went to Lanikai too, is because the water is always so calm. There's never like waves. So I never got good enough at it to where I could go where if the water is more choppy or, you know.
Does the water get warm? Is the water, is it freezing?
It is free. Last time I was in the water, it was freezing. I remember that.
Was it? Wow.
Now, Steve calls 90 degrees freezing now, though. I mean, he's been
Right.
away so long. Spoiled.
He
ahead
got-
of him.
Got him spoiled. That Hawaii weather got him spoiled a little bit.
Oh,
Well, you
yeah.
want to hear the funny story about the water being cold is last time I was in the water was when my mom and stepdad came to visit, and we went to Ko'olina, which is where a lot of tourists go to. That's not in Waikiki. It's on the other side of the island, but closer to our house. And so we went there. It was me, Nina, my mom, and stepdad. And so I'm like, yeah, let's just go in the water. You know, I have my swim trunks on and everything. And I'm like, let's just plunge in. So we both just like plunge, you know, and it's at a resort too, right? Like the beach is a resort. It's not like just you know, find a beach, like local surfers and everything. It's like it's all tourist. So the water is a little bit warmer there, but I went in and I'm like I couldn't catch my breath. And then I'm like, all right, I'll get used to it in a second, you know? And then and Nina's just like, what's wrong? Like she's right next to me in the water and she's like, what? And I'm like, this isn't cold? And she's like, no, what's wrong with you?
So
I'm like, I
used
guess
to
I'm
it.
a pussy, man. I don't know what to say.
Is your
I
wife
stayed
from
in
there?
like-
Is your wife
yeah,
from
she
Hawaii?
she was
Okay.
born and raised here. So. But after like 5 minutes, after 5 minutes, I was like, I'll just give it time and I couldn't. And I'm like, I gotta get out. And she's like laughing at me. She's like,
Wow. I don't
it's
like-
not cold.
I don't
So
like
I'm
swimming
just
in the
a
ocean.
sissy.
I don't like swimming in the ocean. I could swim, but I don't like going in the ocean. It's so big. It's creepy. Especially the oceans here. It's like disgusting. Like it's all dirty. You know, you can't see what is in the water around you. I don't really like going to swim in the ocean.
Yeah,
But-
that's what. Yeah, for me, it's like you don't know. Your feet are just down there. You don't know what's like swimming around you or what's gonna, you know. And then like the jellyfish and shit.
I'd be more scared of jellyfish than I am a shark, to be honest with you, boy. Can you imagine being out in the water and being stung by several of them suckers?
Phew.
I couldn't even imagine being stung by one.
Yeah. I mean,
Got the
that's got
or what got the crocodile hunter a stingray, right? Did it?
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yep, with
He's
that
a-
iron spear.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And he's like a professional, you know, or he was a professional. I don't know. I kind of stay away from it, me personally. But there's stuff on land that could kill you. Around where I live, it's like Copperhead City. I probably seen right around my house probably 20 copperheads last year. Just walking my dogs and stuff. So you gotta
those
watch.
things
Yeah.
they're very dangerous.
And they blend right into the leaves too, especially like in they're
Mhm.
around in October, believe it or not. September, October. So they blend it. You really gotta watch your step out there. So I ran across a lot. So,
And my brother-in-law was a bunch of guys out. This has been about 30 years ago. Was out picking up pecans, and you know, it's under a big old pecan tree, and there's all kinds of little limbs and things laying down there. Well, they'd been picking them up for a while, and like you said, they looked just like a stick. And so my brother-in-law reached down there to pick up the stick to get it out of the way, and it turned out to be a copperhead, and it bit him right on the little finger. I forgot which hand. But he damn near died from that. He was in the hospital. Yeah, he was in the hospital for a long time. They cut his hand open, you know, and drained that poison out. But his little finger now goes way over here. It's not where it's supposed to be. It's way over here.
Wow.
That was your brother?
And my brother-in-law.
My brother-in-law. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're dangerous. I've
No
come across
snakes.
rattlesnakes, all that.
No
Not
snakes
here,
here.
not where I live here, but where my parents live in upstate New York near Buffalo. So they live in a lot like in the boonies. Their closest neighbors are probably 2 miles away, and we used to go in the woods a lot and stuff growing up, see rattlesnakes, see all kinds of stuff. So gotta watch your step, man. I like rattlesnake. Oh, I don't like rattlesnakes, but at least they warn you for the most part. Copperheads, you
Yeah.
can just
Right.
be up on them and
Right.
nothing. That's what I don't like about them.
Yeah, there's some sneaky suckers. When I
And
was
that's
a
the
kid, I
thing.
had
And Hawaii, there are no snakes. Period. Like zero
Wow.
snakes. There's not even squirrels. Don't
Well,
even
when I come
squirrels
over there,
there.
I'm gonna bring a few snakes and a couple squirrels.
Yeah, I'm
Get y'all
surprised
started
people
off.
didn't bring a snake and let it go. You know how people are, you know.
Yeah.
Just
No, they've
bring a snake.
tried.
Have
They've
they?
tried. It's been
Just
on
the
the
weather.
news where people, it's on the news. They're like, yeah, someone tried to bring a snake through and da da da, and but they catch all that shit at the airports and
So no snakes and no turtle riding is what you're saying.
no turtle ride. And there's no squirrels either. I actually miss squirrels, man, because growing up in Michigan, I
I
seen
like
squirrles
squirrels.
every
I like
day.
squirrels.
you
I
know.
got a one-eyed squirrel
Instead, they
friend that
got
lives in my backyard right now. Got
instead
one
they
eye.
have what the hell's the name of them? Mongoose. Is it mongoose?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Those things are vicious.
yeah. Have you seen
Vicious.
one?
Yeah, we had one in our garage a few years ago. I had to buy the cage and we trapped them.
Wow.
And then me and Nina's son Kavika were like, "What are we gonna do now? We got it." So we put like these thick gloves on and we grabbed the cage and put it in the back of his pickup truck, and then we drove like way out. And then we're like, "Now what?" I'm like, "I'm not touching it." And he's like, "Someone's got to open the thing to let it go." And I'm like, "I'm not touching that." I'm like, "You're the tough guy, dude. You fucking do it." And
Did
he
you
was
flip a
like,
coin? Did you
right.
flip a
So
Who
he
coin?
wound
ended
up
up
doing it?
well, Kavika did. I sissied out. I don't care.
I knew
But
you wasn't going to. So I just had to ask though.
I
but
seen one one time.
there was a cat walking by right when he did it too. That right when he opened it, and he did one of these, and then just like, boop. And then right when he did that, I noticed the cat, and I'm like, Veeks, someone's gonna get fucked up. You know what I mean? And that thing took off, and then it went like where you couldn't see it, and you just hear, wow, and then. So I
Probably
don't
ate
know
it.
what
Probably
happened,
ate
but
the
we
cat.
took off.
Dang.
It was
I seen
fun.
I seen one time when I went to Puerto Rico, we're in a rainforest, and the guy that was giving us a tour was like, "Yeah, there's mongoose here, but you won't rarely see them." And I looked out the corner of my eye, and one was walking away, and it looked scary, man. It looked
Yeah,
scary.
they're vicious, very vicious. They got some sharp even talking about sharks. Mongoose got some sharp teeth, man. And
Read
the
what
only reason
Saul
I
said.
know that is because when we had it in that cage and I got a little closer to the cage, it's just like showing its teeth and hissing at me like, oh man.
Should have
Wow.
hissed back.
And you know why we have mongoose here? Here's a fun fact, interesting story. Because there was a rat, and this is like decades, I don't know, long time ago. And there was a rat problem. So the government decided, well, bring in the mongoose. And the thing is, mongoose are day hunters and rats are night hunters. So now we have a mongoose problem and a rat problem.
Wow.
So there's the
That
government for you.
yeah, there you go.
Saul said, speaking of squirrels, she said, "Did y'all see the video about the acorn that hit a cop car and the cop
Oh, yeah.
fired
I
at it
seen
and got
that.
on fire?" I hadn't
I
seen
was
it.
seen
talking
it.
about that last week on my members only live
I
stream. But yeah.
I thought I saw him bleeding a little bit. I don't know if he got like a boo boo when he hit the deck behind the car. I thought I saw a little blood on the sidewalk. But yeah, that video was
Yeah.
crazy. That video was crazy. So watch if you get
Probably
pulled
when he
over.
when he rolled over 4 times, like
Yeah, it probably scraped his arm or something. So make sure if you pull over, you don't get under an acorn tree or something.
right,
He emptied
right.
his gun at his squad car and missed every shot. Then
Yeah,
proceeded
he
to
mag
crawl on his
dumped it.
belly.
He mag dumped it on his
Dang.
own squad car, and his partner from the other direction mag dumped her shit too.
Wow. Yeah, that
And
video is something
thank
else.
God the dude that was in handcuffs, that's the funny part. The dude's in handcuffs in the back of the car. That's who they're shooting at. Like, so how, like, you think someone's shooting? How he was in handcuffs in the back of the car? What is he shooting with his feet?
Oh, it sounds like some hilariously good cops there, though. That's the kind we don't need anywhere.
Right.
Where was that at? Where was that at? Where did that happen?
Florida. I think it was Florida.
In Florida.
I'm not positive, but I think it was Florida.
See you later, Chrissy Cat. Have a good dinner.
Oh, much love,
Turtle
Chrissy.
soup.
Yeah, I
Turtle
like
soup.
Chrissy too. Chrissy's so nice. Love Chrissy.
Enjoy that.
Yeah, I've
turtle
known
soup.
her for a long time. She's great people.
She sure is.
Having turtle soup. Did you see it?
So long as it's not a copperhead or something like that. If it's a copperhead, well, then you just got a few rats to go around too. That's because that's basically what they all eat. So
Yeah, I seen like a copperhead. The younger ones, they actually have like this little. It's like the green tail, and it looks like a worm, and they shake it so things could try to eat it. The younger ones, but then when they get older, it falls off. So I thought that was kind of like an interesting little fun fact, since we're talking about fun facts. And but they're dangerous, man. They blend right in with the leaves. I come across them a lot, unfortunately. So
well, I'm not planning on going out around where any of them are. So I
Me
mean,
neither.
they may come crawling up under my trailer here. I don't know, but that'd be the only way they get me. I damn
You got-
sure ain't going out.
do you got
Go.
rattlesnakes, Ronnie?
There are rattlesnakes around here. I hadn't seen one in a long time, but back when I was a kid, we lived on a farm, and we were out all the time, either hoeing cotton or pulling it, and there were rattlesnakes all out in those cotton fields. So you just had to be extremely careful out there.
Yeah. Wow.
Now I've come close to yanking a few of them up and throwing them in the cotton sack or whatever. But
Dang.
thank God I never did. I probably wouldn't be here now because we was only about 1,000 miles out in the boondocks.
Yeah, that's why. Like when we moved, my parents, like I said, lived in kind of had a weird life. I lived in the city till I was like 14 or 15 in Baltimore. And then we moved to upstate New York. It was just like a total culture shock because my parents bought a farm. So we used to do hay in the summertime and baling it up and stuff. They would sell it. We used to have a couple cows and stuff, believe it or not. But they don't have them anymore. They're getting kind of older now. But yeah, so we used to see rattlesnakes and stuff in the hay bales and stuff. Scare the hell out of me, man. Because I don't get along with snakes too good.
You and me either. I hate them suckers.
Me neither.
Them and rats. I mean, I don't know which one I hate the worst. They're both terrible to me. But I think if I had to pick one, it'd be a snake.
Yeah, I'd be more scared of a snake. Yeah,
Oh hell yeah,
definitely.
I'm not scared of rats. I just hate them. They're them things can't take a step without taking a crap. They literally can't. I mean, you get a mouse or a rat in your house, and only one, it'll look like you got a whole passel of them in there because, like I say, they take a crap every step they take. It's
every poop they make.
Yeah, it's amazing to me, that they no more than they eat, that they can crap all that much.
Did you see the video of the guy, the homeless guy in New York, and they flipped his blanket back and like all these rats come running out? He's like sleeping in a subway.
Yep, I seen that.
I was like, wow, wow.
I wouldn't want to see that, to tell you the truth. If I seen rats come around, I'd be having nightmares forever. I mean,
They got a huge rat problem in New York. Got a lot of other problems in New York too.
No kidding.
See that when I watched that video like a dozen times because I'm just thinking either that dude just doesn't care or they're like his pets, or how do you not realize those things are in the blanket with you? You know what I mean? Like,
What's that movie about the rat guy? I forget he had pet rats or something. I forget the name of the movie, but it was with that guy that used to be in Back to the Future.
You talking about the young guy or the old guy?
Yeah, the young guy.
Oh,
I forgot it's about rats, but I forget the name of the movie. But,
I know who you're talking about. I can't think of his name either, though.
Yeah, rats aren't good. And there's a lot in New York,
I sure would be scared of rats in DC, Van. There's a lot of
dude,
demon
you be
rats there.
scared of them out here. They're like
I'm scared of them anywhere.
they're like
Are
the
they
size
big?
of their size of like freaking small cats out here. It's
Dang.
Oh, hey, I had one in my house, and when I lived up there in Princeton, and I'm here to tell you, I was in bed one night, and it sounded like someone threw a hard ball and hit either the washer or dryer with it. I couldn't tell which one, so I jumped out of bed and run there to see what the hell was going on. What it sounded awful, but when I got in there wasn't nothing wrong, nothing out of place, and I thought it had to be a rat. And so I got my phone, I shined the light down behind the washer and dryer. And sure enough, there that big old ugly sucker was. Had a nose kind of like a pig. I mean, this was the ugliest
Dang.
rat I have ever seen. And big. I mean, it looked like it was pregnant with about 50 mice in it or something. I mean, it was a huge rat. And just looking at him was disgusting. But I called his.
did it have that super long tail? Like
Yeah,
tail that was
yeah.
twice
Yeah, I
as
never
long as his body.
seen one.
Ooh.
Yeah, they did. Or he did. Or whatever the hell it was. How do you tell the sex of a rat, by the way?
Good question.
I have no idea.
No.
Don't know if I want it or not.
Yeah, I don't know if
Right.
they got little things hanging from down or what. You know,
don't know
I'm
either.
not really for sure.
All I know is they love to reproduce, man.
Oh yeah, or like
Now, come on,
rabbits.
Lord Libby. You know he had to be crazy about me. He was in my house.
Last time I
Yeah.
seen one here, I shot it with a pellet gun and it died instantly.
Did it?
Well,
Did it?
Steve, wasn't it you and me that were on that night when I don't remember if you were on there with me or if you were in the chat, but there was I guess a rat had some mice. Anyway, I had some boxes of food, dry foods set up in the hallway, and I kept hearing something, but I didn't know where in the heck it was coming from.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
you were on with me that night, wasn't you?
Yeah, we were on, yep.
And it was a rat's inside that box. It was macaroni is what they were in, and they were smart enough to chew the hole on the back side up against the wall, so I couldn't see the hole. And I was wondering, well, how in the heck did they get in there to get that stuff? I could hear them in there, but I didn't see a hole. I turned that box around just a little bit, and a damn rat come flying out of that hole. Almost give me a heart attack. I mean, right on the spot, man. I'm surprised y'all didn't hear me scream like a little girl. It scared the hell out
But
of
I
me.
remember you're like, I'm hearing something. I don't know, maybe I'm just losing my mind, but I'm hearing something. You guys don't hear that? You don't hear that?
I don't know how you couldn't have heard it, man. They were noises of the devil.
Did you scream?
I think I did. I don't remember for sure, but I think I did. Like a little girl too. Believe me, that wasn't nice. But I caught them all after that. These suckers in my pantry now, particularly up on the top shelf in the pantry. My daughter came over one day and was cleaning the house, and she just happened to look on that top shelf, which I hardly ever used. I mean, there were a few things up there, but it was literally covered in rat turds.
Wow.
I mean, covered now. And not only that, but they don't only crap, they pee and everything too, and it stinks like the devil.
Mhm.
So she was cleaning that all up. And of course, we had to pull out refrigerator, washer, dryer, all that stuff to clean because it'd been back there too. You can literally see where they've been peeing and everything at. Because,
That's how you find out. That's how you find out where their nest is or whatever.
Well, that didn't help me none, but I finally located it. Their nest, that is.
Hey, Steve Cutler.
Yeah, was it? Did you find out how they're getting in there?
Yeah,
From
I
the
did.
outside?
Yeah, what it was there behind the dryer, where the dryer is vented.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that vent didn't have a lid on the bottom of it, whatever you call it. When the dryer's blowing, it opens that lid,
and then it shuts
Yeah,
down.
on the outside. On the outside, yeah.
Well, that lid was missing. I guess I don't know. I guess it fell off because of old age or something. But I got a new vent and put it on there, and that stopped that problem. But I still had to catch all the rats and everything that was in there, which I did. That's a terrible, nasty, stinking job. But and the thing of it is, you almost have to poison them. You won't get rid of them. And then when you poison them, they want to crawl up into some hellaciously hard place to get to, and you never get them out, and they stink you out of your own house.
You can shoot them, and that's fun, but you're not going to get rid of them by that. You gotta poison them.
Then if they
Good.
die, you better hope you find a body, or when it starts
Or
decaying, that's gonna stink.
that's when you find it. You're
Yeah.
walking along, and then you're like, "Oh, what the? Okay, there's something."
That's exactly right. It was so funny that one. I don't remember which one it was now, but man, he was stinking, and that there was a place behind the bathtub, so we'd get in there and work on pipes and things. A little piece cut out of the wall.
Access, yeah.
So I took that out. I was looking for. I could smell he was under the bathtub, but I couldn't tell where, because I couldn't get down there far enough to see because I got everything wrong with me. I called my nephew, and he came over, and so he was looking in the same place. Had his no. I mean, he was down on his nose was on the floor, and this rat's tail was sticking out of it was between two floor joists that were real close together. How he got his ass in there, I don't know. But
they find a way.
Yeah, he squeezed in between those floor joists, and all that's sticking out was his tail. And my nephew had his nose right on where that rat was at.
Oh man.
You talk about laughing now. He come running out of there, that rat, by the tail, and chunked him out in the yard and started throwing up.
Oh, I would have too, though. I don't blame him one bit.
No, I didn't either. I was too busy laughing though to get sick myself. Boy, that was funny. I ain't kidding you, that was funny. I wish I'd have got a picture of that chap.
Yeah. Sometimes when I'm with a patient or something, and sometimes people do things, I go in, and I've seen it all. Remember, I think Ron, you were talking about the lady that threw up crap out of her mouth, and you guys were talking about a couple episodes back. So I've seen that. I don't know, a lot, probably over 50 times in my career.
Well, is it because that they're taking painkillers and they get constipated?
Oh yeah, normally when their body's starting to shut down. Normally when that happens, I've only seen that happen where somebody walked away from it and lived. Not very many times. When that happens, like their body's starting to shut down. So we'll send them to the hospital, and 9 times out of 10 they never come back, or they come back and they'll pass away, unfortunately, right afterwards. But you walk into some situations, I hold my I try not to breathe in, and people are like, "You sound like you got a cold," and I'm like, "Yeah, I do." Because what some of the stuff you smell.
No, I heard that. I don't know how you handle it myself.
Yeah, it takes some getting used to. Now I just, go in there. It's like I'll come back out and eat a sandwich. It's nothing to me now. So, but sometimes even then, you go in there and it just, oh man, it smells so bad. It's hard to get used to.
Yes,
So,
it is.
Unfortunately, to your friend that happened to her.
Same thing with me and plumbing, and it's like, it smells like money to me. But
yeah, I hear you.
When my daughter was born 17 years ago, and I was changing her diaper as a baby, I was like, oh. But then they're like, dude, you're a plumber. I'm like, yeah, that's different. It's different, man. So I guess it's one of those things where that's what you do. You do it all the time.
You just get used to it after a while. Yeah. When I first, it's like a shock to me. I was just like, wow, can I ever do this? You start questioning yourself.
I don't think I could ever do it.
Yeah, after a while, you just get used to it. Like I said, just start getting used to it.
That lady I was telling about, Wolverines, she didn't go to the hospital. At least I don't think she did. But what happened was a week or two before that, she had called, or maybe not even that long, but she had called her doctor and told him, that her stomach was hurting real bad. And he told her, well, it's nothing to worry about. It's just some of the medicine you're taking, which that's what it was. And, the medicine was causing it. And but she knew she hadn't been to the bathroom in a long time. And whether she told him that or not, I don't know. But anyway, a day or two later, well, that's when it started, And,
wow. But she lived
she's
afterwards.
Right. Yeah,
she's all right now. Wow. Yeah. I'm not saying in all cases. there could be many reasons why that happened. So, don't say like it's because of this, but
Well, she had been taking chemo too.
yeah, so chemo could do it, different medications can cause that to happen. Normally 9 times out of just in my career, I would say that if that happens, I've seen people walk away from it, but a lot of times I've seen people pass away, unfortunately, because of it too. So, people are different, cases are different. You really have to kind of zero in on what's causing a problem. Yeah, it's not a pretty sight. It's not a pretty sight. A lot of times it's blood mixed into it too. It could be blood coming out. Like,
So you have literally been there when people were actually doing that out of their mouth.
oh yeah, right there,
Mm.
right there.
Wow.
I've
Did it ever make you want to throw up?
yeah, I get used to it after a while. It doesn't. It's
Mm.
not a pretty sight. I
I
will say
wouldn't think
that
so.
it's not a pretty sight. I've been in some crazy situations. Like I've had people wanting their inhaler or something, telling me they don't feel right. And this guy was kind of young, probably like, I would say like early 40s. Wanted me to give him his inhaler, and I said no problem. I turned around, he just dropped dead. Boom, right there, right off his bed, just fell right on his face. Bam.
Damn.
I've been hanging IV bags in a
Oh,
room and
shoot.
turn around and the people are just dying right in front of me, and I'm like, no, don't go, and it's just never can get used to it. And it starts to affect my personal life. Like I had my sister pass away last fall, and it starts like it takes a while for it to set in that, it's my sister that passed away because I'm so used to it. And I think something's wrong with me because I'm not really affected like I should be. But after a
Right.
while, it kind of hits me real hard because, you try to call them and they're not there to pick up their phone or, and it just sits in. It just takes a while. It starts affecting my personal life. That's why I was kind of leading back to, you talk about a civil war, anything could happen in a war. And you don't want to see somebody you love and care about die because it is not a pretty picture, in front of you.
No
And
kidding.
When did your cuz yeah, my sister passed away too in 2020.
yeah,
And
so she, I'm trying to think. It's like last August or September that she passed away from
oh, geez.
cancer. So and then I had a younger brother. He passed away a while ago. Very good athlete. Played for the Orioles, professional baseball. He passed away, unfortunately. He was 22. He passed away from colon cancer. So,
Wow.
So just like dealing with that stuff and dealing, my occupation, I see it a lot. I've probably seen over, 200 dead bodies,
Well,
just start.
how many people do you think? Not you don't have to give an exact number, of course, but
Mhm.
that have had cancer. How many and are taking chemo or radiation? How many of those that have taken it have you seen come out alive? Do you think versus the ones that haven't?
Well, I've seen, it's hard to say. It's hard to say.
Yeah.
I remember my brother was so bad. He was a big guy. He's probably just 235 solid muscle. He's 6'2", 235. Like I say, he's a professional athlete. He's huge. And he used to walk around with his pack right on him. It was like a almost like a man bag, like a purse. And he had to have it hooked up to him. So he went from like 235 to like 120. But I've seen people live, survive too. It's hard to say. I hate to tell somebody like if you're on chemo, it won't help you. I think
Well, I
there's a
wouldn't.
lot of natural remedies, I'm sorry, out there that they could do better with, but
You ain't a kidding.
um the culture we live to, they just want to run into pharmaceuticals and how they want to push that on you. I think there's a lot of natural remedies that medical doctors could look more into,
Yeah, I can't say what I'm taking
So,
right now because when I do, I get a strike. But one of them, anyway. The other
yeah.
one is RSO, and
I have no idea how good they're working right now. I hope to find out here pretty soon, but right now I don't know.
Yeah, it
But
just all
I mean,
depends on the individual.
I know
So
one thing though. I would never take chemotherapy. Never. And that would be so far out for me. I wouldn't even take radiation because they told me it was going to break at least one rib. So I wouldn't
wow.
take that. And
Uh-huh.
the first cancer doctor I ever saw back in, I guess it's in 2017, told me that you know I may need to take chemotherapy. And I said, I'm not taking any chemotherapy. And she said, why? And she had a bag of, an empty bag of it hanging up
Uh-huh.
there on the pole. And I said, well, have you ever read what's on the back of that bag? And she didn't answer me. She kind of glanced up at but she never answered me. Well, of course, the answer was, yeah, I've read it. I know what's in there. Well, read what's on the back of one of them bags sometimes, if they hadn't taken it off by now. But it's a cancer causer, is what it is.
Yeah, I don't. I think there's there's actually a shortage right now on a lot of medications out there. That's another thing I wanted to tell people. There's all across the whole spectrum of drugs. There's a lot of stuff that you can't even get right now. Um, but I don't. It's entirely up to the person. I understand if people don't want to take it. I can understand that completely. I think they could do a lot better job with natural stuff that they do right now currently, in my opinion. So they kind of push people in that pharmaceutical market, and unfortunately it's sad to me. So
I'll
That's
just
why
say
it's
this about
natural. That's why it's natural, because that's what it's there for.
I
To
don't know too
naturally
much
heal.
about the what is it, RSO? I kind of know what it is. I've never had anybody that I know personally on it. I've heard it done wonders for some people. I don't know too much about it though, so I don't really want to speak on it too much, but
I hear you. Well,
I
there's a video out there. It's on YouTube. It's called "Run from the Cure." Run
mhm.
from the Cure, and it tells all about it and how many people it. And these people say it cured them. I'm not saying that's what they said, but you know the
I'll check
point
that
is,
out.
yeah, and
Botonator.
the
Right on,
point is,
Botonator.
yeah, man, I would try natural stuff in a heartbeat if I ever try anything that the doctors give you, because that whatever they give you is going to cause another symptom, and then they give something for
Yeah.
that symptom, and it causes another symptom. So
And then you're worried about trying to help you with the symptoms. You all see the commercials. They tell you one thing, and then they list 100,000 things that could go wrong with you, including
that's
death
right.
sometimes in certain cases. So you're like, man, am I
Yeah.
better off?
Hello, Hawk. Good to
I
see you,
wish you the
brother.
best. I wish you the
What's up,
best.
Hawk?
You're a good guy. You're a great guy. So I wish you the best, and I pray that everything works out for you, Ron. I really do.
Oh well, I mean, I'm not worried about that. Really, I'm not. I mean, if the way I look at it is, I think I'm taking now what I need to take, and if the good Lord is ready to call me home, what if it ain't the cancer? It'll be something else. So
Mm-hmm.
uh, that's just the way I look at it. Not believe me, I don't want to go. I definitely don't want to go. But we don't. None of us want to go. We don't have any choice in it when we go and when we don't. At least
Exactly.
most of the time.
Yeah.
So it just don't bother me in that way so much. But it's just what gets me is I don't know if you call it worry or not. Concern, I guess, is more like the word. The
Mm-hmm.
concern of if it does get worse, is the pain and everything that comes with it. I already got pain. I got quite a bit of pain. But
Yeah.
that's what I was going to say a while ago when we was talking about the drugs. The drugs, I'm talking about painkillers now. I don't. If anybody's taking them, they don't need them. You're just crazy. Is all I can say. But if you need them and you ain't got them, you're wanting them. I guarantee you. And that's kind of what it is to me. I take them because if I didn't, I couldn't function. I mean, I just couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Yeah.
take them. But you're right. My doctor told me the other day that it might take a week or longer to get my medicine because
Yeah.
they're having
That's
trouble
how it
finding it.
is. Yeah, it's been like that for a while now. You know, they used to hand out pain medication. It was part of vital signs. You know, we automatically had to walk into someone and say, if you're on pain, you had to schedule them a narcotic for pain. And then all of a sudden, you know how the government goes, they just took it away from people. So a lot of people unfortunately got addicted to it. I understand why it happens. You know, a lot of people are in pain, and they could become addictive, and then they're hooked on it. You know, and it's unfortunate. I don't blame anybody that's ever happened to ever, because they used to push it on people like candy.
Oh yeah.
So
Well, see, and that's one reason I have so much respect for Steve, is because he was on him and he was man enough to get off of him. And I mean that takes a lot of guts, and willpower to do once you're addicted to
Yeah,
them.
I'm the one that they
So-
were pushing it on
yeah,
a long
I
time
never
ago.
Yeah, I never blame anybody on that. And kudos to you, Steve, for doing that. You know, it's very hard. I don't blame anybody for being like that. So, you know, I just pray that if they want to stop, that they have the willpower, and prayer will help you get through something like that. It's very hard though. So there's medications. Again, I don't want to push medications too much today, but that can help you out, and there's different avenues you can take. But
Right. No,
kinda,
that's what I did. I
yeah,
took
they
different
kind of push
avenues.
it out to people. You know,
Yep.
you go
And
in,
then
and
it's like one crutch for another. You know,
yeah,
it's like get
just
off
like
this
what we were
one, use
saying.
this to get off of that.
Yeah,
And
it's just like a never-ending cycle.
yep. That's
Well, that's what I told her when I first talked to her, and she's talking about him. I said, well, I said, all I can say is I don't want to be on something that when I do get rid of this, that I can't get off of. And all she said was, well, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But that's something, at least to me, and everything that I know about it, that's more or less up to the person. Yeah, the doctors can help. They can reduce stuff down and all that,
Mhm.
but it's
Some
still up to
people
the
need it.
person to get off of them.
Some people need it though. You know, some people, man. Phew. Some
Oh yeah,
people need it.
kratom.
You know, so it's hard. Yeah, kratom does
Steve
help,
Color
and
just
that's
mentioned
natural.
kratom. Yeah.
That's natural. That is true. Got to make sure you get the right type. But that it does help. Does help.
I can tell you another thing about cancer that I've found out. That is that with me anyway, it gives me such a hellacious craving for sweet stuff that,
Mm-hmm.
man, I'm telling you, it's almost impossible to resist. You get such an urge for something sweet, that you can't just say, well, I'm not going to eat it because that it helps the cancer, which it does, 'cause it's got sugar in it. But I mean, the urge is so strong for something sweet. For me, I have to get a little something sweet to kill that urge.
Wow.
It drive you out of your damn mind.
Dang.
But I can guarantee you, it ain't no fun thing. That's for sure. I've been to more doctors than you shake a stick at. I'm so sick of doctors I could scream.
Yeah.
It's
hear
kind of
you.
weird. I look back on the day when I didn't go to a doctor for 10, 20 years, if that often. And now it seems like I'm in one's office every other day.
I'm sure it's not cheap at all.
No, it's not.
You know, they make it so hard for people. And that's what I mean. We're steadily sending money overseas for all these wars. And there's people here that need help. You know, people with the medical costs are skyrocketing.
Medical
And you're
costs,
afraid to
groceries,
go to the
everything.
doctor sometimes because of how much it costs. And that's sad to me.
Yeah, it is. Well, it keeps you broke. I can tell you that. Trying to go to the doctor and you've got to live, of course. So all
Yeah.
that, not just the doctor, but the gas it takes to get there, and then you got to buy the medicine, whatever it is.
And it seems like each administration, like Trump put in something to help lower the medications, and Biden comes in, he cancels what Trump does, and he puts in his, what he wants to do with it. And it seems like we're always getting a short end of the stick.
Oh, we
like
are
we're the, and it's just never ending, and I'm just
under any
it's tiring that
yeah,
it keeps on happening to people because we're the ones that are suffering from it.
under every president that we've had before Trump. And this is my opinion again, but it's really more than an opinion. But under every president we had before Trump, they were all not good. I'll just put it like that. And then Trump comes along, and every promise he made, so far as I know, he kept every one of them. So I don't know. I just have a real problem trying to figure out what it is that some people, and good conservatives now. I mean, I'm not knocking them out, but I do have a problem trying to figure out what it is they don't like about him. I mean, I just don't get it.
I think a lot of people, powers that be, don't like him for what he represents, and that's America. The other people, it's a lot of propaganda out there. Like I said, people, you had all these rappers, all these people taking pictures with him. Oprah even said, "When are you going to run?" And everybody clapped. Now they act like he's a problem. So I don't really get it. I don't understand it. But, I think, excuse me, I think he could, maybe he's not showing all the cards that he wants to. It'd be kind of stupid to put out everything that he wants to do. And his, hopefully he wins. But he's been the best president I ever had in my lifetime that I could see. So
best one in my lifetime.
So
by far.
I
mean, I'm 73 years old. Well, instead of tell my real age, instead of 198 for once. But yeah, I mean, before him, I thought Reagan was, but kind of find out Reagan was most likely a crook too. So, just wipe them all out, all the way back to Lincoln or wherever, because they were all crooks. But then Trump comes along, and now, yeah, it's possible that he's a crook too. I mean, I'll admit that it's possible. But I don't know where that's what we was talking about a while ago, is all these prosecutors and things that have been trying to run him down. What if there's anything out there, surely to God, they'd have found it, because you bet your ass they're wanting to get it out.
They would have found it a long time ago. That's why all these charges, these recent charges, are just BS to me.
Absolutely.
Like they're just pulling it out of the woodwork. Like it's crazy how our justice system has been. To me, you can't even ever trust it again, really. I mean, if you get a certain people on especially in the jurisdictions that they're having it, like New York or DC or something, and they find that you're conservative, well, most of the people, they're supposed to be a jury of your peers, but hey, man, we all know the pool they're pulling from lean one way. And I hate to talk about it like it's right and left, but it's real too. At the same time, you can't ignore it. And I don't know, our justice system to me is like, and then, the whole Texas thing, how they could, a state has a right to defend itself too, and the Supreme Court up at the top didn't want that to happen. So we got problems with our justice system, and I just I don't know how it's going to be corrected when it's, it's supposed to be different branches of a government and a jurisdiction of the legislative, executive, and judicial branches, and it's supposed to be separated from the other one. So I don't understand how the other ones could control the judicial branch, and it just seems like it's broken at this time. I think we're in like a constitutional crisis. It's sad. So
well, I could say a lot about that. I ain't going to, because like I said, I want to keep my channel, but I could really say
I'm not going to go too much into it too, pardon me.
But X says breaking news tomorrow, Trump shuts down New York City. What the hell? I don't know exactly what he's talking about there, but that might not be a bad thing right now.
I think it might have been talking about the past. I'm not sure, but
I wonder if that was with the truckers that they mentioned earlier.
Oh,
I don't know
too
much.
So
I don't know too much
either.
about it though.
I don't know.
Got to look more into it.
I know X does know a lot what he's talking about though. So
yeah, X is cool.
I'm not going to say that. What I'm not sure exactly what he's talking about. But
X, you talking about the truckers or what? Once a day, all day long. Fans building America, right or wrong.
America.
America.
Oh, he is. Yes, he is talking
All
about that.
right.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, with the truckers. Wow. Yeah, I gotta look more into it. So
Right on, truckers is all I can say.
gotta love truckers. My best friend, I got a brother that's a trucker. My best friend's a trucker. So
I know a
appreciate
bunch of truckers, man, and yeah, shout out to all truckers.
We know this talking about the Texas thing with the truckers. That turned out to be just a big nothing, in my opinion. I mean, they came down to Texas, but they didn't stay long, And then I don't know if they done anything. I haven't heard a whole lot about it. So it just looks to me like it was some kind of a,
Maybe they all just had a delivery to make, and they were like, let's just all go there at the same time, make a delivery, and then they left.
Maybe so.
Yeah, I didn't even really see it too much, like broadcasted too much. Like
No, I mean,
never-
yeah, I heard
I've
about
seen
it,
little
and
bits
then
and
that was
pieces
it.
of it.
Yeah,
They ain't going to broadcast anything like that because it's
You know,
for Trump.
yeah, exactly. So I know people were worried about it as far as it being compromised and stuff like that, but I think a lot
Yeah.
of people are aware now, and a lot of people use cell phones and stuff and look out for that sort of thing now. So I think a lot of people were there's a little concern that it might be compromised, but it ended up helping the trucker, or the whole thing ended up going without a hitch, so that's
Yeah.
good.
It did. As far as I know, anyway, it sure did. But yeah, what they were saying was they were afraid it was going to be like J6,
Yeah.
but it wasn't anything like that, so far as I know.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God. So,
and like Karen Reed says, God bless our truckers. That's true. Her brother is a trucker. God bless our truckers, because
Yeah,
I don't know how they do it,
they
because
keep it going. They keep
I
America
drive
moving.
I drive a work van, and I about lose my shit every day, because it's like, what? How do they just hand out driver's license? They just let anybody freaking drive. And then these guys are in 18-wheelers dealing with
That's
this. So yeah,
and that's
God
their
bless
office,
them.
fighting that traffic every day. I hate being
Yeah,
in a traffic jam.
man, it drives, and I'm just in a small work van compared to them. I'm just nothing. So.
That's why I always yield to them. I let them come in and
Oh
get in
yeah,
front of me if I'm driving a car. I treat them nice. I don't try to forget this trucker, and block them off and stuff. You know what I mean? I try to go on,
yeah.
ease on in there. You're okay. So I appreciate them. They keep America moving, and if it wasn't for truckers, we'd have problems big time.
Oh yeah, big time.
for darn sure. Well, guys, we've been on for going on 3 hours, like about 2 minutes.
Okay.
Oh shit. Oh what?
Wow.
3? Wow. You know what that means? And William Kramer already said it. It's a damn good show. If we don't know it's even going in, or I didn't anyway.
Well,
Going
say
on
it
3
again,
hours.
William. One more time, William. Say it again, William. Was it a damn good show or no?
We got to get the
I
final
like
stamp.
William. That's funny. Well, thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
No, thank you, brother, for coming out.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And everyone, next week we got a great guest too. So make sure you're. It's going to be on my channel next week.
Who is this Mr. B guy, by the way? Is he that guy that tries to act like Elvis?
I heard about him. But we're gonna have to find out next Sunday.
We sure are. I'm gonna have to ask him some questions about this Elvis stuff. Some real questions. Mr. B, if you're still
Ronnie.
there, get ready.
Ronnie has like a whole book already of questions.
I sure do. I'm gonna ask him, does he have a license to sing like Elvis? That's one question. Then I'm gonna ask him what a big hunk of man, whatever the hell he's called that a while ago.
Big hunk of man.
Man something. Man, mess, meat, something.
And also thank you to everyone who subscribed to Southeast Wolverines channel. You're at 305 now.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. It's humbling. Thank you.
Damn, you're gonna catch me, Wolverines. My problem is I can't. Not this one last night. Now it maybe has something wrong with it today. I don't know. But the one I done Wednesday night supposedly got copyrights from many countries overseas, and so they said they had to block it overseas.
Wow.
And that was just for small clips, and few of those. That was
like a 3-second clip. I've gotten copyrights for a 3-second clip.
Wow. So you hear different things like a minute and all that. You don't know what to believe anymore, So
for damn sure.
I think, sometimes just the subject I'm talking to, I get a little shadow banned. So that's why I think it's important to don't help YouTube out any, to subscribe to like-minded people, in my opinion. Make their job a little bit harder, let our voice, let the voice of America speak, because we're speaking not only for ourselves, but you too. So.
Right.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think it's high time that if you're not awake, you better start awakening. I mean, and I'm not trying to be an asshole or nothing. I mean, I'm just saying, it's that time. You got to pick a side, which one you're going to be on. How could it be that much of a decision? I mean, I don't get it. If you're gonna vote for one of them on that side, or if you're going to vote for Trump, I mean, I don't see there's even a choice there myself.
I choose good all day long instead of evil. Boy.
Darn right.
Some people are, I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of propaganda out there, man. A lot.
Well, that's what.
Best thing I ever did was cut off cable. I cut off cable. It was the best thing, one of the best moves I ever made in my life. So.
Well, I have cable, but I don't ever watch. I have YouTube, of course. That's what I watch most of the time. That and Rumble. But I mean, I don't watch none of the crap that that side puts out. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, I don't want to harp on if you got cable or not. Just for me though.
Yeah, no, I got you.
It just worked out. So.
Well, you're young and working though, so congratulations.
Yeah, it took me a while. I had a hard time going. Like I said earlier, this whole thing threw me for a loop, and I'm not probably zigged when I should have zagged a lot in life. I'm not the most responsible person with money because it really doesn't mean too much to me. And I could be a lot better. So, I'm struggling just like everybody else out there. So, I'm just, thank God that, I have an opportunity to keep a roof over my head right now. So I can understand, like the last guest you had on last week, the homeless in America guy. I could easily understand how that could happen to someone. People are living paycheck to paycheck. Something really goes bad, wrong, you can be in trouble quick. So
yep.
Yeah, I heard about that chessboard. About them not wanting to make deliveries to New York City, but I didn't hear about them until just a while ago about them blocking the roads and stuff. So, right on truckers is all I can say.
Yeah, I want to read more about it, but I've been hearing that too. Chessboard, I've been hearing that too. Absolutely. So I know a lot of people in chat. They're just good people. I'm just glad I crossed paths with everybody here because I could have been not even knowing who any of you guys are at all. And I just thank God that I met you because you guys seem really like good people. So to me, so just glad people in chat, I'm learning that, getting familiar with people. And I'm just glad that we all cross paths. And I think it's meant for a reason. So
it definitely is. That's what I believe. Everything happens for a reason. Everything.
And I think we've got a hell of a good community here. I mean, none of our channels are huge, like humongous or anything, but the people that do watch and and all of us, I think we're great together. When I do get on, and do a show, I have a hell of a good time most times. No, sometimes I don't, of course, but most times I do. I mean, I just enjoy the hell out of spending time with people, and hearing what they got to say, and and saying what I got to say.
Like, give a shout out to just a Big Chap too. I like, he's a good dude.
Yeah,
And
Big Chap is awesome.
yeah, just everybody, chessboard. Like I've been made Chrissy. Like I could, Craig Jacob. I could go on and on and on. Karen, Sharon. I could go on and on to people I met. They're just good people, and I appreciate you. Thank you for being the people you are. So I look forward to meeting more people.
Well, that's what at least that's one of the purposes of us, having people on is, the people that they don't know, they can get to know. It's just I think it's a pretty neat way of, meeting people and building your channel.
Me too. And you guys,
Yeah,
you guys do a heck of a job too. Thank you.
I have closer friends now that I've met through YouTube than I've ever met in person walking down the street. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no shit.
So keep on doing what you're doing with the Unfiltered podcast and keep going, because you guys are bringing people together and you're doing a service to America. You really are. So keep on going.
Right on, man.
And you're doing the same thing, so you keep on going too.
Yeah, I've had my days where I wanted to. Had my days when I wanted to stop, because I'm like, oh, just not reaching people, or maybe, I never put it on people. I think it's more of me and maybe lack of communication skills, making, people to understand where I'm coming from. So I don't ever want to judge people. I'm my own worst critic. But sometimes I don't know the algorithms and stuff, and not getting your stuff pulled out. My channel takes so long to grow. So I don't know. I just know I love America, and I'm going to keep on going to the best of my ability. And as far as it goes is where God wants to take it, and I'm satisfied with that. So
I hear you. And I agree with X here. We are the media now. I thoroughly agree with that, X. Them people on the mainstream, they get very, very few. I bet you, just speaking for my own little channel here, I bet they don't get a hell of a lot more views a day than I do when I do my shows. I mean, I know they get more, of course, but I'm just saying, if you compare them to, then I mean, I would be kicking their ass if you go by the size, and y'all would too. I'm just saying, it's just that they have sure, most definitely lost their way since, Obama made it legal to propagandize. And that's what gets another thing gets me too, was talking about free speech a while ago. Well, since he made propaganda legal, and if certain people or companies, YouTube, don't agree with what I'm saying, well, it ought to be fine on two fronts. One, free speech, and the other is because propaganda is legal.
Right.
So, I mean,
good point. Good point.
Exactly. I mean, he did do it. He did pass a law. People forget about that stuff,
Yeah,
well,
he killed
it. What gets me is that, we're not trying to cause anybody harm. I'm not, like I said, I'm not for violence at all in my life. I just want people to be better off if they're struggling. I want America to come together. I know it's kind of like a pipe dream sometimes, because it seems like we're so divided, but I don't really get it. But when authoritarians are gonna authoritate, so to speak, they just want to control people's conversations, and I don't think it's right for people to do that. So
what things they've done ain't right on any scale or anything else. I mean, the thing that gets me the most about them is the children. I mean, they've done a lot of evil things, but the kids, that just really that rankles my hide. Let me tell you right now. I think they need to be the ones that have done that, whoever they are. need to be strung up at daylight.
They're taking their innocence away, you know, and
Mhm.
it's sad, man. It's great to be a kid. It's great to not to have to worry about bills and you know, whatever. But you take the kids in it, let them be a kid. Well, you had that chance growing up, and every kid deserves that. And when you're trying to preach that certain things, you're taking their innocence away, and it's horrible. I don't agree with it at all.
For damn sure. And well, they're not. They're literally unaliving a lot of them. You know, I mean, it's just what they do. It's extremely sad and heartbreaking to me. I don't know how anyone could do that, but it's been done for ever since the Garden of Eden.
Yeah, and they say if you can get the youth, you can control them when they're adults. So that's what they're trying to do. But like I said, you should let a kid be a kid. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Sad.
Well, they're not. You know what panda eyes are, don't you, Wolverines?
Excuse me, sir?
You know what panda eyes are, don't you?
Tell me. I'm not really familiar with it.
Well, it's let me see if I can think of a way to put this. It's what the panda eyes come from men having sex with little kids that blows out their blood veins in their eyes.
Wow.
And cause their eyes be black all the way around.
Wow, no, I never heard that term. Wow.
They're called panda eyes. So and I'm talking about newborn babies on up. It don't make them no difference. I mean, a baby just born, they'll do that to that newborn baby.
Oh. Yeah, it's so disgusting, man.
It is. It's totally disgusting. I don't know how in the hell you do it. Literally, I mean, how could a man ever get worked up enough to do that to a baby? I mean, I could slam it in the door and it would say, "Are you crazy?"
That's just a double taking control of them, man.
It's beyond disgusting. It's disturbing.
It's horrible, and there's no doubt about it.
A lot of times you can't even rehabilitate somebody like that at all. You know.
I don't even think they deserve rehabilitating.
Me either. I mean, that's just. I mean, you're taking that kid's life. They're gonna think about that. You know, if they're aware of what's happening to them for the rest of their life, you're just ruining their lives. So it's just disgusting to me. I'll never understand it, and I don't want to try to understand it. So
no, well, if you could understand it, you'd be as bad as them. So you know, it's something that's just. Well, I guess the only way a person could understand it is become a Satan worshiper. And did you see the video I was showing last night where this guy and this woman and man got married and they were sitting at a table and he was literally feeding her shit with a spoon. Man.
Yeah, they were I heard. I think I was doing the dishes or something. I heard what was going on. You know what I mean? Jeez, man, there's some.
Yeah, they had a plate
with that kinky.
They had a plate or a bowl of crap sitting there on the table in front of her. You know, she had her wedding dress and everything on. And here he is with a spoon, more or less force feeding her this crap. And she didn't like it, but she was eating it. It was a very, very disgusting scene. I'm here to tell you. Nasty. And Craig says he saw it. All right.
That's even more disturbing.
I mean, it blows my mind. I don't get it. I'll stick to the Bible any day of the week.
No, you and me both. She did kind of look like her, didn't she, Salt? Looked like a very pretty woman, but whoever that guy was she was with, and I don't remember his name.
Yeah, that was the video they were talking about. You know, becoming famous and stuff. Was that video? They were talking about you know, people doing certain things to be in the limelight, so to speak.
Yeah, well, it was just about evil, how they become evil and stuff like that.
Wow. Yeah, wow.
And what they do once they become evil. I mean, and how evil could you be? You just married a woman. You think enough of this woman, I guess, to marry her. and yet the first thing you do after you get married is feed her a bowl of shit. Ain't you ever gonna kiss her? I wouldn't want to kiss a
Right.
woman that's been eating crap.
A
Dang.
lot of people want to be controlling over somebody, but I don't ever want to have that much control over someone.
No.
You got to respect the person you're marrying, man. You know.
Well, you
It's
gotta
one
respect
thing
your
if
own
the
mouth,
person,
too.
one thing if the person you married wants to eat shit, then it's like that's your thing. But make sure you brush your teeth before you get close to me.
Do more than brush your teeth. But they dig down in there and dig that out somehow. I'm telling you, man, that was all. At first, I
It
didn't
puts a
realize
whole
what they
new
were doing.
it puts a whole new meaning to damn, your breath smells like shit. What have you been eating?
It sure does.
You got to add. You know what you been up to?
Damn, you been eating shit, man. Your breath stinks. Actually, I have.
Well, actually, now that you mention it,
Right.
That was something. That was the last thing I expected to see him feeding her shit, but he definitely was feeding her crap.
wow. Yeah, people are into some strange stuff, man. People are into some strange things out there.
Well, if you're a Satanist, you're into a lot of strange things. And what's another thing that's bad about it is in everything they do, just about they mock Christ. You know, whether it's in praying or whatever, it don't matter. They're mocking Christ. And
Yeah.
what gets me is how can you be a Satanist? You know, if you're going to go to church and worship Him, then why would you even want to think of Christ? You know, I mean, wouldn't that be the very person he's wanting to forget? Would be Christ. I mean, if I was a Satanist, it would be for me.
Yeah, you know, I hear different things. That's why a lot of people are into hurting little kids is because the innocence and they think that represent, you know, God, and that's a way to get back at God. There's some dark stuff that goes through people's heads like that. You know, that thing of the guy in Colorado, he's in trouble when he decapitated the statue. I don't know if you guys know about that story. The guy, they had a devil statue in Colorado, and a guy decapitated its head, and he got in trouble for it. Like he's facing jail time for it.
No shit.
When
I
did
haven't
that?
heard about that.
A couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago. I don't know if anybody in the chat remembers that story, but I think he was a veteran, if I'm not mistaken. And they had a little a statue of Satan in the state house, if I'm not mistaken. I could be. I look at a lot of stuff, but he
And
went
that was
in.
in Michigan, right?
Was it
Oh,
Michigan
I
or
know.
Colorado?
I know which one. That is Colorado. I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah,
That,
and
yeah.
you know, for a felony charge, they charged him for a hate crime.
Yeah,
for doing
because
that.
and it all goes back to the Constitution, and that's free speech. It's a religion, right? Like just because you disagree with that religion.
So sometimes
But
it's
yeah,
a
he's
slippery slope,
facing.
you know,
Yeah,
because they could say, you know, they got the freedom to worship. You know, you might not agree with it, but my whole
exactly.
thing is just don't attack Christians every second you get, and just let people roll with that. It seems like, you know, there's a big attack on Christianity now, and as far as the country gets away from the principles of Christianity, the darker we're falling. So slippery slope, I guess, you know.
Oh, it is. Oh, Craig says he beheaded the Baphomet.
Yes, yeah.
Good for him. Good for him.
That's what happened to him. And they brought hate charge against the guy. You know, Craig's very
I mean,
Craig's
and
very
if you go by the Constitution and free speech and freedom of religion and all that, you would be going. You know, it'd be like somebody doing the same thing for a statue of Jesus Christ, and they beheaded that, and then
they
he's
congratulate
going to prison.
But
it's because someone doesn't believe in what It's the whole thing. It's opinions, right?
But they're taking down statues all the time. Like, they
Right.
down
Yeah.
like
Oh shit.
Civil War statues, and people's family was involved with that, and people's family died in that war. And nobody thought nothing of the Civil War until lately. Like, they act like the statue's gonna come alive like Night of Museum or something. I don't get it.
Yeah.
But they'll take those down. And then if the other people do it, they charge them with a hate crime. So that's what I don't think is fair with it. So,
Yeah. Good point.
they're taking down
Well, the thing about
George
Baphomet is
Washington, everything, It's-
Baphomet is nothing but a symbol of evil, and I'm sure the reason they got mad is because Baphomet is half man, half woman, and that's what they're striving to push on the country and the world right now. So they don't want their little game messed with there, So I'm sure that's why they got mad. But yeah, if I would have been with this guy, I would have probably been helping him, because believe me, that's one statue that is, in my opinion, awful. All statues like that, including Moloch and all of them, are just totally evil. But how a city or a state, a county, could put a statue up like that in a political place, a public place, is it's just absolutely crazy.
And that's their argument with it, like Steve was saying earlier. But like I said, they're taking down statues of things that other people, and whether you agree with it or not, like I said, people have had relatives that fought in the Civil War, whether you believe, you like it or not. And that's their heritage. That's America's history. And they're trying to erase it. So why is one thing you could take down and they cheer for it, but then the other thing, if somebody does something or try to take it down, you charge them with a hate crime? And that's the problem I have, because it's not fair across the board to me.
Yep.
So
Let's see. I'm just reading a little bit of what Latina just sent in. It's a newspaper story, I guess. GoFundMe is what it is. Anyway, it's a page about, I guess they're trying to raise money for him. It says, my name is Elena Cardone, and I am a wife of Grant Cardone, mother and an ardent supporter of American values and an advocate for justice. I stand unwaveringly with President Trump in the face of what I see as unprecedented and unfair treatment by certain judicial elements in New York. And so they're trying to raise money, to help Trump out there. He's up to $355,000. No, the goal is $355,000. They're at $346,291. So right on, I guess.
yeah, it's just, I don't know, man. You can't trust the justice system anymore. It's sad, and they're getting away with it. Seems like they are. Hopefully it gets not, I know he can appeal it. Hopefully, it gets turned over on appeal, but man, I don't wish that on nobody. Whether you like the person or not, man, that is not fair to do to someone.
Well, let me tell you why I think he's going through all this stuff. And again, this is my opinion. But and again, I'm basing this off what Q said back in 2017-18. And man, I've figuring out a way to word these things is just impossible, because I know what's going to happen. I wish I hadn't even said anything now. Just forget it, because I mean,
I hear you.
You can't word anything. Yeah, you can't word it right.
Gotta be like that, actually. So
I can't word it right anyway.
Yeah, I hear you though. Hopefully it works out. Hopefully it works out for him, because he if I'm going over an embankment and I'm free falling, I'm looking out anything to hold to stop it from falling. And to me, Trump kind of represents stopping this country from falling that far, and just to get a little bit back. So I appreciate what he's trying to do, and hopefully it will all works out. I think we need to pray on it, pray for his safety, and hopefully
I
it works
totally
out for
agree.
him, because it's
Totally
gonna
agree.
help us in the long run.
Well, I think it's that he's the only chance this country has got right now. He's the only chance the world has got. Forget this country. He is the only chance this world has got right now. If he can't get back into office and and straighten all this stuff out that's been screwed horrendously, and not just under the guy that's in there now, but all the other presidents, then man, I'm telling you, we are in a. Hillary wouldn't have been nothing compared to what would happen. But like I said a while ago, I think it's already been settled myself. I
think we need to pray on it, because Jesus is gonna make it worth it. Whatever. We gotta pray. Trump could be gone tomorrow. He's in for 4 years. They could switch everything out. But as long as what means consistent is having Jesus. And I think if anybody's going to help us out, is us praying to Jesus and believing in ourselves. Even if Trump wasn't in, you got to start believing in yourself and your fellow American, and it'll work. But Trump definitely gives us a beachhead, so we can just stop this country from falling like it is, in my opinion.
Well, look, don't you think though that if he really thought the country was in as much trouble as he says it is when he's at the rallies and things, that he would say, "All right, everybody, get prepared. This shit's fixing to break loose. You better have a way to protect yourself and all this stuff."
Yeah.
But he's never even hinted at that.
Yeah. So I hear you. I hear you with that. It's a valid argument. Why? Sometimes I ask myself, even the last time, if the whole game is rigged, would you play a game you think is rigged? I know I wouldn't.
No, of course not.
Right.
So
Good point.
I question that sometimes. Like, why even run if you think the game is rigged? So I have a lot of questions. I'm still searching for the answer. To me, he represents America. At least he's not dogging it every chance he gets and talk about how bad it gets. So I fall in line with a lot of stuff he talks about. He's my guy. If elections was tomorrow, vote for him all day. But we got to rely on Jesus, and we got to rely on each other, in my opinion, more than anybody. So
I think this is a Jesus thing myself.
Yeah, it is. I think that too.
So yeah, we got to rely on Christ regardless. But something like this, even more so.
It is, because what we were saying is good and evil.
That's right. And when it gets right down to it, we are weak. The humans are that's the way we're made. We're made weak. But Christ, whatever it was he had inside him, and God is what he had inside him as far as I'm concerned. But he was an awful, awful brave man. He knew what was going to happen to him, and he still went through with it. So, I'm just saying, that him compared to us ain't even a contest. So you have to put your faith in him.
Exactly.
To get anywhere.
These people are so dark, though. They try Jesus. These people are so dark. They put Jesus on trial, man. So.
Pool party at Steve's right after the broadcast. Who else will be there?
Which pool do you want, though? You want this pool
or that pool? I like them both.
I like this pool. This is like the bar setup. Or you want the one with the waterfall? Or do you want my real pool? Oh shit! It's a green screen. Damn it!
Looks like you're underwater there.
You go with that background a lot right there. All of them are nice.
Yeah, this is my favorite one. I found this one 2 years ago. This is the only one I haven't got rid of.
That's the Wolverines. This is why I say that Steve is the most popular guy in the world. Is because of all these pools he's got, and living in Hawaii. He's a plumber. I mean, my goodness, what else could a person want?
He's a good guy too. He's a good guy.
the only sad part is I literally do not have a pool. I'm surrounded by the ocean though, so that works.
Don't tell anyone.
Well, guys, I'm ready to get the hell out of here. It's,
Okay, thank you guys.
Okay,
you bet.
cool. Yep, thank you, brother. I'm gonna. Well, Southeast, you have any final thoughts?
Yeah, just first of all, I'm very humbled if you came to my channel and subscribed to me. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Trying to strive to be a better person every day. Believe in one another. Pray. And like I said at the beginning, prepare for the worst. Hopefully it'll never come, but pray for the best. And I love this country, and I know you do too. And I look forward to conversating and trying to learn from each and every person that's listening to this and on the panel. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming up with us, Wolverines. We definitely appreciate it, brother. And good luck with your channel.
Absolutely.
And in your profession.
Thank you.
You bet, brother.
Yeah. And keep emailing me too, man. I'll help you out.
I will.
As much
You've
as
been
I
helping
can.
me out a lot, Steve. I appreciate it. You know I do. Thank you so much.
What is it? He been telling you how to do plumbing or what?
No, he just gives me pointers, you know, and said
And
I'm
it's not me. It's not me giving. It's pointers that I get from other people. So I'm just I'm paying it forward. I get pointers, and then I'm giving them to him because if it helps, it helps. You know.
Yeah. So I'm
Well,
gonna.
you know what? If I gave anybody pointers, they'd be going in the wrong direction. So I try not to do that.
I don't know, Ronnie. You're a smart guy and a good guy, so I'm sure you got a lot of good points. So
these technical things, so I ain't kidding you, man. I have problems with them, big problems. Well, I think you know that from as much as you've been in the chat before. And all the times people saying, "Do this, do that," you know. If it wasn't for the chat, sometimes I'd be totally lost.
Hey, you make it work though. So yeah, I just think I'm gonna. I tried to use this today as a starting point, so I'm gonna really concentrate and work on the channel, and Lord willing, it works out. Because I'm just trying to save this country. I just love America and the people in it. So
we all do,
man.
We all do. Everybody in the chat, and then all three of us for darn sure. But anyway, thank you, Wolverines, and we'll see you on the next one, bro.
Okay, guys. Thank you, Steve.
Yep. Thank you, brother. Thank you. And then I'm just going to say one thing, and then I'm going to drop down and let Ronnie close out the show. But like I always say, have a beautiful morning, beautiful day, beautiful afternoon, beautiful evening, beautiful night, whatever it may be, wherever you are. Much love, much aloha, and most importantly, God bless.
I didn't know Steve was leaving so quick, but he did. I'll see you later, Steve. Love you, bro. All right, now I'm going to get the heck on out of here, too. So thank you, Wolverines, and thank everybody in the chat for hanging out with us. We definitely appreciate it. And thanks to everybody for hitting the like button. Let's see how many. Let me refresh just to see for sure what it is here. Oh, 112 likes. That ain't bad at all. Matter of fact, it's pretty darn good. Thank you, everybody. Definitely appreciate you watching and hitting the like button. So, love you too, Miss Karen. And y'all all take care, and that was the Lurking Patriot. Whoever that is. Hello, Lurking Patriot. Good to see you. All right, everyone. Have a great rest of your Sunday and upcoming week, and we'll see y'all on the next one. Good night, everybody.